Welcome to the Talltale Tavern, the monthly one-shot adventure TTRPG podcast. I am Kyle, your host, and welcome back to our level 7 spelljammer adventure. Joining me at the bar this month, back at the bar is sad she no longer gets to DM this dream team of players after tonight. Maybe a new set of dice will help ease the pain. Welcome back, Becca.
Oh my gosh, Kyle, you're right. A new set of dice would ease the pain. That's such a good idea.
Becca, there is something that we all wanted to talk to you about. This is actually...
I accept nothing, and I will be buying dice.
And you accept nothing, you refuse. We all have our letters prepared.
We tried to have an intervention, but she actually made us roll for initiative, and she got the highest. So
I'm sorry,
she left first. Also here at the bar, she's on spring break, and she's here to bring vacation energy to this record. Brooke, welcome back.
Spring break! Woo! Hello, it's me.
He was happy to see last week that I've embraced my true calling of janitorial work. It's Scott. Thank you. You tried to get me. I did not read that janitorial word before we started.
You did not. I'm sad. That was not a dig at anyone who does janitorial work. It is a callback to Kyle and I's friendship where our Destiny Cops episode of Machinima thing, I wrote a line that had janitorial work in it. It took him like 20 takes to say the words janitorial.
But I did it first try, and I didn't think about it when I said
that was beautiful.
I think it's because after that happened, I said I will never film that.
You've been practicing every day.
I've been practicing janitorial work. And finally, constantly seeking the validation of others via fictional characters and childish voices, but also thinking about taking a pickleball, it's Tyler Adelsperger. Welcome back, Tyler.
Things are really looking up.
Great. Welcome everybody. I'm excited to get back into this adventure, see where it goes, see what happens. So we return to our wooden table at the Talltale Tavern with the smell of books and brandy and a little cherry syrup in the air, listening to a story from a teenage girl about a particularly eventful day aboard a spelljammer research ship traveling through the astral and material planes. The girl pauses her story to take the last sip of her Shirley Temple. She slides the cup back to the bartender and pulls her ID card from out of her bag. So, can I actually have the real thing this time? The bartender leans forward to read the card, and his eyebrows shoot up in surprise as he reads, Desandra Honeyweather, age 27. The woman's eyes twinkle a bit. I told you, time is weird up there. The bartender incredulously pours her the vodka cranberry she originally ordered. I still remember the first time I ever tried one. My parents took me to the food district for my birthday, and I ordered a vodka cranberry. I was so confused when the autonome there garnished it with a pickle. Another cook, his boss I think, told me the autonome saw a Bloody Mary with a pickle and just assumed all drinks should have them. It was actually weirdly good, but definitely never order their pigs in a blanket. She gives a small shudder at the memory, and then after a moment, anyways, where was I? Oh yeah, have you all ever heard about Lenny Learn-a-lot bots? And thus continues the mothership. Roll the intro.
It's late morning on the Enquirer. The halls are bustling with activity as people move about their daily lives aboard the ship. Rosemary the cook has begun transitioning the SS Sunrise to their lunchtime menu and wonders if her autonome assistant got lost on their errand. Desandra, or Dizzy as her friends call her, takes advantage of the mid-morning lull at the gym to practice some maneuvers, attempting to mimic the form of the young Gith woman who every morning makes intricate sword work look like an effortless dance. A little halfling boy clutches his stuffed bunny and draws a picture of the Hadozi superhero who so effortlessly rescued his beloved friend. A beautiful, kind-looking woman named Janice holds a sparkly dress up to her body, hoping the friendly janitor got a chance to fix the lights over the karaoke stage. On the surface, it looks like life as usual. But an undercurrent of tension weaves its way through the halls. The news of the Sims glitches has spread like wildfire. People huddle together over work desks, whispering urgently about what it could all mean. Eyes periodically dart towards the windows, second-guessing every little change in the landscape as a potential threat. On the far end of the ship, in the magitech engineer's office, Ada Hopper sits at a screen, rapidly scanning hundreds of lines of sensor readings, having long since evicted the magitech engineer, who usually operates the workstation. Her eyes are burning as she pushes them to keep looking, to take in everything and anything that could possibly explain why the safety systems went down. What was happening to the Sims? What would happen to the Inquirer if she failed? It would be her fault. She created the Sims, and all these people trusted the Sims to protect them. If they got hurt, it would be all her fault. No, can't think like that. Have to focus. Have to find the error. Where is the damn error? The sensor broken? Is there a bug in the code? Did a cable come loose? Ada's brain rapidly sifts through the information before her, mentally mapping it to find the connections. But her mind also keeps shifting to think about her daughter and 3 friends, hoping they are okay and haven't tripped over a box or something. It was embarrassing to think of them seeing all her old junk. When this was resolved, she would go and throw some of that old equipment away. But that's an issue for another day. They just need to avoid bumping into a few crates, and then they'll be safe with the Sims. And then we'll celebrate over a spaghetti dinner. It'll be okay. Just have to find the damn error. Having just left the gravity experimentation chamber, you all now stand in a darkened room, illuminated only by the collective red glow from hundreds of red, beady eyes. Standing between you and the room's exit is a small army of Lenny Learn-a-lot bots, a toy designed to bring universal education to children across the plains, but was indefinitely blocked by influential men who reap the benefits of uneducated subjects. Their heads slowly cock to the other side. In the playground of knowledge, curiosity is the best game to play. Let's play together. And then they appear to wait.
Oh shit!
How do we play?
I'm a little scared of these little rascals here. I don't really know what we should be doing.
Did they all speak in unison? Like all of them?
They were all speaking in unison. Their movements were all in unison as they turned their heads to look at you and inquire.
Someone go and talk to them before I start shooting them.
Hello, fellow fans of learning. My name is L10. What is your name? Lenny Learn-a-lot, I believe I heard.
Our name is Lenny. Learning is like a magical adventure, full of exciting discoveries. Let's learn together. Should we learn about trades, arcane, or nature?
Did you say trains?
Trades with a D.
Oh, I was hoping for
like
trains.
the trades.
Wait,
Not
I want to
trains.
learn
Oh
about
my gosh.
trains.
Oh, I wish it was trains. Trades, arcane, or nature?
I'm very familiar with the arcane and nature, but I'm not very informed on trades. Please tell me more.
Blacksmiths make many amazing products we use every day. Quicklime is an oxidizing component that can remove excess carbon from some sources of iron and steel. What is the chemical formula for quicklime? And a little metagaming time in from your DM.
Are you making us do chemistry, Becca? Is this chemistry?
I should just go.
Tyler, get your chemistry notes. Get them out.
Welcome to your hell, you
Hey,
guys.
Scott and I took honors chem together, so
We're ready.
we got
Okay.
this.
Literally before the show talking about how bad I am at chemistry.
So, all right, metagaming. You guys have kind of two ways to approach this, and it can vary depending on each question. So option 1, feel free, if you as a player know the answer to any of these, just do not feel bad metagaming on whether your character would know. Just feel free to go for it. However, mental bonus points if you can come up with a very plausible scenario of why your character would also know it. On the flip side, if no one knows the answer to the question, what you can do is you can explain to me how your character may have known it, come up with some sort of a plausible explanation. Based on what you say, I will have you do a roll and I'm setting the DC based off of how good your explanation is and how close that linkage is. How much you make me believe it, okay?
So like an example, like what if one time on a chemistry exam in college, I had to make a molecule out of another one, and there was this whole space in the middle where you're supposed to like do the chemical reactions to change the molecule to get to the bottom one at the bottom, and I did about 2 steps, and then I wrote magic, and then I did the rest of the way. Is that what you're talking about by plausible explanation?
Becca, before you answer,
agree.
keep in mind, magic exists.
Yes.
In this.
Yes.
In this.
So that would work if Bob had been in college and was making it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
But
it's got to
not-
be, the explanation has to be
Kyle.
your character. Yes.
Okay. I didn't get very many points on it either on the test, so makes sense.
It all just depends on how good the sketch of the wizard is that you drew next to it of whether I would have given you points or not. All right, so that's my metagaming aside. And go.
Great.
I'm going to need you to state that again.
Yeah, I didn't
All
quite
right, I'll
get
just do the
all of
question
it.
part. What is the chemical formula for quicklime?
But can you tell me what it does again? What it removes or whatever?
It's an oxidizing component that can remove excess carbon from sources of iron and steel. So it's basically a way that we process iron. You can take like cast iron and make it so that you can make buildings and crap out of it. That's a very technical explanation right there. You're welcome.
I would take out a lime and draw a Nike swoosh on it. Quick lime. It's a quick lime. That's all I got, guys.
Yeah, it's
Just
gonna
eat
have
it.
an oxidizing bond on there. It's gonna have probably a hydroxyl group in the end, I think. Maybe add that to your swoosh.
Is that some kind of language? Some kind of plasmoid
Because-
language I've never heard, Tavern. I don't know what you're talking about.
Because of the sass and Bob's answer of adding it to the swoosh, I'm going to let you roll with that.
Oh, God.
So go ahead and give me, I will take either a nature or a history roll with this.
That was Bob not being sassy. That was
No, I
him
know,
being
but I loved
genuine
it.
on the swoosh. What am I rolling?
Either nature or history.
Great, -1 to both, so we're going with history.
You can have, Jim
Ooh.
can give you the help action on it because he
I
added
rolled
his
a
lime.
17 on my first one.
Oh,
So, but if you're giving me the help action, then I'm just gonna roll nature instead too. So I rolled history. So the 17 was better.
okay. Great job! The answer is calcium oxide. I'm so proud of us learning together. Do you want to learn now about trades, arcane, or nature?
I go for a high five with Jim, and like my arm like bends in a really unnatural way. Like I'm not really trying to hide that I don't have bones anymore, but I still look like Bob, and like it's like a big blobby floppy arm that like goes up for a high five with Jim.
Jim puts his right foot up to meet the fake hand gel-like ooze
Okay.
of
Ooh,
Bob's.
is that a Hardozi custom?
Oh, yeah, sometimes we do shit with our feet.
Where did the Hardozi come from? And what is the gross domestic product of your country? And would you be able to give me a breakdown of your allies and enemies in the region? I'm not familiar with the history.
Oh boy, how many pop quizzes are we gonna have here? I mean,
Yeah,
geez.
can we just stick
We
to
might wanna
like one
focus on
question
the-
I don't
Oh,
know
yes,
the
right.
answer
Nature,
to?
nature. We want nature this time. Nature.
Oh, fuck.
The Underdark is an ecosystem that is rarely exposed to light sources. So native biota have developed unique physical features such as bioluminescence and blind sight. When traveling through the Underdark, what creature should you avoid eye contact with?
Oh, I know this one. It's my ex back from Baldur's Gate. Just wouldn't want to look her in the eye, you know.
The dolls kind of just cock their head to the other side and wait. And you
Elton
see their eyes
mimics
get
them.
a little brighter red.
Yeah, Jim takes a
seem
step
mad.
back and kind of Homer Simpsons into the bush for a second.
You guys better answer this. I don't actually have eyes, so I don't know what eye contact really is. It is like where his eyeballs are, it turns to blue, and it like looks like he's wearing a skin mask for a second with his disguised self that he could do. But then
That
he
is
just creates eyes
fascinating.
again.
Is there a D&D monster that like paralyzes you, like Medusa style or something?
There is a Medusa.
There is the Medusa.
Did I get it right? Is it Medusa?
But I don't know if it's an Underdark.
Underdark. My answer is Underdark Medusa.
Well, Elton hasn't been to the Underdark, but he has been in his research for cooking. He's read some exotic cookbooks about, rare monsters from the Underdark. So, of course, he's familiar with which ones have eyes that you shouldn't look at when trying to capture ingredients in the Underdark. So that's why he knows the answer.
Eye contact, not eyes contact.
That's
Would
true.
that be a Nothic?
Oh, good for thickening a soup or thinning a soup because they're not thick, as we all know. So
I don't know if that's the actual name of what I'm thinking, and I don't know if you're actually allowed to look at their eyeballs.
I have no idea.
I loved Elton's explanation. Go ahead and give me a roll with that.
What should I roll? Nature? It's a nature.
Probably
check.
nature, or I would also take survival if that's better for you. But I think probably nature is better for you, right?
Nature is better for me. But I still only got a 14 on my check.
You see that their eyes, they slightly dim their bright red color that they had kind of flared a little bit at Jim's earlier answer. And they kind of go back to that red that they were at before, and they say, the answer is beholders, commonly found in the Underdark.
Of course.
I don't know why I picked the beholder, but I did.
Brooke almost said that, and then I was like, no, that's not it. Now I feel dumb.
I'm confused because I've been told by humans that beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and yet we're not supposed to look at them. Tragic.
Let's do one more. Would you like to learn about trades, arcane, or nature?
Arcane, 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 arcane.
All right, so for this one, I'll let you guys choose 1, 2, or 3.
2.
Ooh.
Okay.
No, not 2. Oh, no.
The weave is the source of all magic, and magic users are able to cast spells by accessing the weave in different ways.
True.
Before their death, which god or goddess was bound to the weave?
Before their death, which god or goddess was bound to the weave?
Yeah, they were believed to be bound to the weave.
I mean, this is not like the most original idea, but I mean, I am a wizard.
Say.
I've studied many types of magic, and my spells, if you look at what I have known, it does vary across all different kinds of magic spells. So I think it's reasonable that I would have come across, information on the weave in my day.
I think I should be allowed to provide the help action as someone who was created to find knowledge and started life as a knowledge cleric in a temple studying gods and became a wizard who encountered a god. And I just feel like I should be allowed to apply help.
I accept both of these. Okay, so go ahead, roll me Arcana, Zeniya, and you can do it with advantage.
Perfect. That is a dirty 20.
Oh.
Good job! The answer is Mistra. You guys are so smart, and then suddenly you see the doll's eyes flare to a piercing level of brightness, and their heads begin to rapidly shake back and forth as if their systems have been overloaded. Embrace knowledge, for ignorance comes at a cost. The ignorance of the oppressed is strength for the oppressor. Their arms and legs start slowly moving as they menacingly start to march towards you. Let's go ahead and roll initiative.
Okay, but can I join them? Because they are correct.
Fucking little Mark.
Yes. We are marching together.
Jim, why don't you go first?
14.
Zeniya?
9.
Great work so far. Bob?
11.
And Elton?
18.
Oh.
Awesome. So first up is actually one of the doll swarms. So you guys are in a 30 by 30 foot room. The ceilings are 15 feet tall, which I mentioned for our spider climbing friend. So it's basically identical to the gravitational chamber that you were in before, size and dimension-wise. There's just not those gravity tiles all over the place. It's more of like a standard room. There are 2 large-sized doll swarms in front of you. So each swarm takes a 10 by 10. Okay? And they're currently about 10 feet in front of you. And one of them, the one on the left, that I just arbitrarily have in front of L10 and Jim, is the one that is moving first and is moving forward towards you. So you see them all move in unison on that swarm, and they just move straight forward, and they occupy the same space as L10 and Jim next to it, as well as 2 other squares because they're 10 by 10. Then after they start to swarm around your legs, they start nipping at your feet and your legs with these razor sharp shards of metal that are in their mouths that you didn't notice before when they were reading you their trivia questions. They take a bite attack against both of you. Let's see, the one on L10 is a 19 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Okay, and then let's do also Jim's at the same time. Jim's is a 21 to hit.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, that hits.
Yeah, unfortunately I rolled really well. Apologies for that.
Tiny, smart bastards. I hate them.
So you each take 26 magical piercing damage.
Ooh.
And go ahead and give me a wisdom saving throw.
Boy, oh boy.
I don't want to play anymore.
This is not fair.
That's 19 minus 1 is an 18.
I got
pass.
an 11 plus 7. That's an 18. Whoa.
Nice.
You guys both passed. You feel something start to like kind of wiggle its way up your leg, almost like a nerve sensation. It was like your nerves are misfiring, but then it kind of just stops at your knee and goes away.
Oh.
That is their turn. So next up is L10. So you are currently in the middle of one of the doll swarms.
Great. My brothers, it doesn't feel like you're just trying to share knowledge.
And he will... Well, fuck it. We'll cast Spirit Guardians then if they're going to be in hordes all around me. Pieces of shit. That's level 3. I have to make a check for it, I guess, with my Mizium apparatus to see if I beat a DC of 13. I got 27, so I think I'm good to cast
Yeah,
it.
you're good.
So yeah, he starts panicking and steam shoots out of his head and he calls forth some misty spirits that will they'll flit around you at a distance of 15 feet for the duration. And then when the spell is cast, I designate any number of creatures you can see to be unaffected by it. Obviously, I don't want to affect my friends that are with me. And then anybody an affected creature speed is halved in the area, and when the creature enters the area for the first time on a turn or starts its turn there, it must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the creature takes 3d8 radiant damage. If I'm good.
Nice.
Which I am. So yes, it would take 3d8 radiant damage if they fail their wisdom save.
Awesome. So do they do that on this one, or is that on the start of
It
their next
says
turn?
when they enter it or when they start their turn. I'm never sure what that means.
Okay.
But the way I've always played it is that it's super overpowered if you do it when you cast it. So it's just when they start their turn there or when they enter it.
Because they are not entering it, it is surrounding them, I guess is how I would view it.
Gotcha.
situation.
Perfect. And it's a 15-foot around them?
Yes, correct. 50, cast on myself, 15-foot radius around me that it is.
Awesome.
Yeah, doing so. Concentration for 10 minutes, so I guess I'll write that down too in case they decide to bite me again and do so much damage.
It's just a little nip. It's not a big deal.
It's just a little one.
And
then, oof. I don't think that there's anything else I'm gonna do right now. I don't want to move away from them.
Next up is Jim.
Okay, well, Jim is going to immediately get out of there.
Are you going to disengage?
Yeah. I'm going to use bonus action, disengage. And then, can I get to the wall and start walking up it?
Mm-hmm. So you can get to the far corner of the room.
Even better.
How much movement do you have? 35?
30.
Yeah, so you can get basically to the opposite corner of the room with your movement. You can go 5 feet up the wall if you want, but I mean,
well, how tall are these guys? They're small, right? Like
they're little. They're tiny sized.
Perfect. Then yeah, I'll go ahead and start up the wall, so that way I'm at least
like off the ground.
Yeah, extra away from them. And then I will attack the swarm that L10 and I were in, so that I can get my sneak attack on them.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, does a 17 hit?
Yep.
Awesome.
You see their metal start to dent.
Yes.
You can disengage and attack. Is that what you said?
Because of rogue.
Okay.
Rogues be roguing.
Why does everybody want players to not do things on their turns, guys? Maybe just knock it off.
Are you Jim Rogan? Brother of Joe Rogan?
Yep. That's it exactly. 6, 12.
Jim Rogan
that is
on the podcast.
16 damage
Can't
to
believe you
that
got Jim
particular
Rogan.
swarm.
The real get.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. Anything else that you would like to? Oh, I guess that's your movement, bonus action, and attack, right?
Yep, that should be it.
I thought it was weird that Jim answered all of the Lenny questions with ivermectin. I don't know. I just thought that.
Next up is Bob.
Bob, he's gonna get up into this swarm and start attacking, but he's gonna suck up one of his legs up into his body, and like his one leg that he's standing on swells a little bit, so it gets like strong, so he can still support himself, but he just doesn't want both of his legs nipped at, so he sucks it up and then hops over, and then he's gonna do some unarmed attacks on the nearest swarm that is probably the one that Jim just like got away from. So
okay, so you're gonna go over to the one that you've been focused on. Okay.
Yes, and the one that he just hit as well, and gonna do some unarmed attacks. And so as he does his unarmed attack, his hand like briefly forms into like an old school spanking paddle with like the holes through it. 22 to hit.
Hit.
That is a 7 points of bludgeoning damage, and then his other attack is a 9 to hit.
That does miss.
And misses. And that's gonna be his turn.
Awesome. Next up is swarm number 2. So they stalk forward they're scuttling forward on their little legs, and they are going to swarm around Bob and Zeniya. And that means that they do enter the radius of the Spirit Guardians. If you'd like to roll your 3d8, please.
Ooh, well, they have to make a wisdom save first.
Oh, wisdom save. That's not great. Are they wise? No, that's a 9.
All right, they did not succeed. So they will instead take 9 radiant damage.
Nice. Okay. So they have scuttled forward, and they are now wrapped around, nipping at the legs, or singular leg in Bob's case, for Bob and Zeniya. So we're going to roll the attacks on each of you. Oh, good. I rolled worse. Okay, so the first one on Bob is only going to be a 10 to hit.
10 does not hit.
And then the
leg
one
is too thick.
It's too thick and meaty. Their teeth actually just kind of smoosh through it, and then there's no damage that's done.
And he's wearing like when it formed that big thick leg, it's like now a jort leg, a single jort leg that's like hairy, so they couldn't get through the
jort.
Yeah, the jort.
Through the jort.
The jort and the hair.
Yeah. The hair is a mirage, so I guess they could just go through it. It's all disguised stuff, so nothing's actually there. But
the attack on Zeniya is a 16 to hit.
Shield.
Nice. You feel their little razor teeth start to head towards your leg, and you're just like, hell no, and immediately pop up an arcane shield.
So my AC is now 20.
Nice. Next up is Zeniya.
Okay, I would like to cast Chromatic Orb, but first I have a question. I get to choose what type of elemental damage it does. Do I have any sense on what would do the most damage to these guys elementally? Or do I just have to go for it?
I will give you a roll for it. I'm just debating which of the intelligence I will have you do.
Okay.
Go ahead and just give me a straight intelligence roll.
Sweet. That's a 23.
Nice. Okay, so what are your options? Is any of the elementals?
It is acid, cold, fire, lightning, poison, thunder.
Okay. You, with your roll, you find that you feel like fire would probably not be the most effective against them.
Fire would not be the most effective. Okay. I will choose thunder. Or sorry, no, lightning. Because they're metal. That makes sense. I want to do it at second level. So that will be 24 to hit, and I'll go after the one that's like already taken some damage.
So they both have, there's one that's around you, like surrounded you. So I'm guessing probably that one. You can technically though reach the other one if you'd like.
Okay.
Which is injured a little bit more.
Okay. Just in case anything goes wrong, I will do the lightning around me because I don't want to accidentally lightning bolt my friends. So I'll do the one near me.
Okay.
Okay. 48. Ooh. I'm rolling well. All right. Ooh, dang, that was really good. 21 lightning damage.
Awesome. They sizzle and char, and you see like an electrical current kind of weave through all of their bodies that are just so tightly compact together that it almost forms like a metallic chain.
Cool. That's my turn.
Nice. Okay. That is back up to the top with swarm number 1. They start to kind of glitch side to side, and you hear them say, "Every book is a treasure chest, waiting for you to open it and explore its wonders." And then they're going to do their wisdom save. Okay, so the swarm around L10 is going to stay there. And you see that the spirit guardians, the robots, not me, got a 14 to save. Does that save?
It does not save.
Oh, roll me that 3d8.
Well, it wasn't that much. Still 10 damage, 10 damage.
Hey, chisel away at them. You see a few of them kind of start to short circuit and fall to the ground.
Okay.
Then right now, they are currently just around you, so they're going to do a bite tack around you at your ankles. And they only roll a 12 to hit.
That does not hit then.
Awesome. That is their turn. Next up is L10.
Hey, perfect. L10 is going to cast color spray at them if you can. Are the two groups within 15 feet of each other? Within 15 feet of me?
Yes.
Okay, because it's a 15-foot cone originating at me. I don't know how that would work.
Do you get to pick who is in it?
I don't think I do, so someone else is just going to get blinded too if they're in it.
Because both Zeniya and Bob will be blinded if that is what is the effect of the spell.
If it hits, it says you start with the creature that has the lowest current hit points, so we'll see, I guess, who has the most hit points for color spray.
So you said a 15-foot cone.
Yes, 15-foot cone. I guess aimed off in that direction. I'm going to cast it at level 2, though.
Okay.
Which means I get to roll. I roll 8d10, basically, and if I cover, it's like sleep. I have to cover their hit points, I think, and then however many I cover creatures are blinded by the cone.
Perfect. Yeah, go ahead and roll me those hit points.
Blinded by the
cone. 8d10.
And it starts with who has the least?
Yes. The least.
So Zeniya, real fast, how many hit points do you have right now?
58.
Okay. And Bob, how many hit points do you have right now?
Me? I got 65.
Perfect.
Hopefully you guys have more than these robot ones.
Otherwise, I'm getting blinded.
We'll see. I mean, I didn't roll that great. I only got 38 damage covered, so I have no idea.
So read me again. So it covers it. It has to cover all of their HP in order for the effect to take.
Yeah, it's starting with the creature that has the lowest current hit points. Each creature affected by the spell is blinded, and it just says, I think that it's how many hit points of creatures the spell can affect. So you have to cover the full amount, I suppose. A creature's hit points must be equal to or less than the remaining total for that creature to be affected.
Okay. Yeah. And you got a 38?
Yes.
Okay. So what does a spell look like when you cast it out? Like, is it more like a strobe light? What is L10's?
It's, I mean, everything with L10 is his steam, his mist. It's all coming. So it's just 2 extra pipes open up like out of his chest and just shoot out like when you get like like a fembot. Yeah. But like, you know, when you got like the spray paint, like, what the fuck is that thing that has like the gun that you can shoot that
or like,
makes it like a
if you've ever gone to like a color
sprayer, airbrush,
a color run,
airbrush thing. Yeah, it's kind of like airbrushing out at their faces. Yeah.
Okay, so it's blind by coverage of like color paint versus light. I got it.
Yeah.
Perfect. So you just start hosing down the entire area with, what color is your paint?
Oh, I like to think that it's a rainbow assortment.
Ooh, I like it. Yeah, like a rainbow glitter like paint just sprays out in this like thick foam, and it covers the dolls and Zeniya and Bob. But unfortunately, no one is blinded.
Wow.
But they are super fabulous looking right now.
This is unfair. Individual dolls should have their own health, and some of them should be blinded. This is dangerous.
You do see one that's like, oh, my eyelashes. So there you go. You got that.
There you go. You got that.
All right. Well, since that didn't work, I'm going to bonus action into my archer form for my wild shape, and I'm going to shoot some fucking darts at these assholes if they don't want to get hurt.
It's the weirdest class.
I don't know what you're talking about. It's perfectly normal. I suck back in the rainbow mist that's in the air, and little joints on my body start to glow into a constellation form, and I turn into my Chad Archer version of myself. And
Elton, I've never seen you like this.
You have, and actually you have less than an hour ago when we were in the gravity chamber, I think.
Now it's just extra impressive because there's still that like sparkly rainbow mist that's still like around.
So I'll take an ranged attack, I guess, at the ones that are further away from me then.
Yeah, because you'd have disadvantage with it.
Yes, so a 24 to hit that group. That's over there. All right, good. It won't go. I rolled a 1, so they take 5 radiant damage, you know.
Well, they still don't like it, if that makes you feel better.
That does make me feel a little bit better, yes.
Your archer form, just so you know, I am picturing Elton John in his Yankees outfit. That's the like Brooklyn classic thing that he wore on his. That's what I'm picturing for Elton right now.
I'll allow it. We'll allow that.
That's perfection. Jim, you are up.
All right, Jim's gonna start by walking up the wall a little bit farther because he doesn't know how high these guys can jump. And he.
Do you want to go all the way up to the ceiling?
Yeah, might as well.
Okay.
Yeah. And then from there, well, now that those ones are all pretty, easier to see.
I know, everyone's so pretty.
I'm gonna shoot at them again.
Which one would you like to go for? The first swarm that like that originally was like around you, or the one next to it?
Yeah, the original one, because the original one covered in paint.
Well, technically,
I guess
all
everyone
of them
is,
are.
right?
Everyone is. It's basically a rave down on the floor.
I'm feeling a little left
and
out.
now a super like Chad buff guy
there.
appeared.
Okay, all right.
And that's a 19 to hit with my crossbow.
That hits.
Let's roll.
It's probably surprising that a bunch of educational dolls are not wearing plate mail, but they are not.
I mean, I'm kind of upset. 10, 15 plus 18. 18 damage to those stupid dolls that are really smart.
Very smart, actually.
That's true.
They know a lot of things.
Is it smart if you just can recall all the information? Like,
yes.
I think technically yes.
You're right, Elton. I'm sorry I said that, and I take it back. You're my little buddy.
Technically, right now, I think I'm larger than you.
You might be, but I'm on the ceiling, so.
Anything else, Jim, that you'd like to use?
Yeah, I'm actually gonna second wind myself and give myself some health back. But yes, then I'm done.
Perfect. Next up is Bob. So Bob, you are in swarm number 2 along with Zeniya.
Okay.
You have just been bedazzled by your friend. What would you like to do?
Bob's gonna suck in his arms and then his forehead's gonna start elongating, and he's gonna scream, "Ah!" And it like gets really tall and flattens into a big, like spanking paddle, and then he's just gonna like slam down with it and do unarmed attacks with this giant paddle forehead now.
Mm-hmm.
I like that you could have gone with a hammerhead, but you chose spanking paddle, and I appreciate
could
that.
have been a fly swatter
his schooling days, you know, when he was in school.
Yep.
And the spanking paddles, he had some corporal punishment when he grew up.
Okay.
And these are small children, and it's just bringing a lot of school memories back for him.
Yes.
As a
Blob
22
has
to
school
hit.
trauma.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
It's a 22 to hit.
Yes, that hits.
That is going to be 8 bludgeoning damage on the first one. And then a 20 to hit on the second one.
Okay.
Rolling bad. 6 bludgeoning damage on the second one, as he doesn't have any arms anymore. He just has a huge flat forehead thing that he's just whapping down and standing on a singular leg.
The mental image is amazing.
Must have some real core strength to stay upright doing that.
I know. Like intense Pilates.
Or he just like suctioned his feet to the ground, like when he did it.
Wide
you know?
base.
Yeah. Just like,
Okay, that is swarm number 2. So they are going to start their turn by saying, "Learning is like planting seeds in the garden of your mind. Watch them grow into amazing ideas." And then they rolled a 17 wisdom save for the Spirit Guardian.
They do succeed, but they still take half damage.
Nice.
So they take 7 damage.
Okay, perfect. So they are currently swarming around Zeniya and Bob, although you guys are noticing that their numbers are starting to dwindle to like, I don't know, maybe at this point, like roughly half their size. And so they do lash out with their tiny little razor sharp teeth. So Zeniya, it would be an 18 to hit.
Nope, because I'm still 20.
Nice. And then I'm guessing a 10 will not hit Bob.
No.
Okay. So they both miss, pinging
Leg
off the
too
arcane.
thick.
Yeah. Can't get around that meaty trunk. And that is their turn. Next up is Zeniya.
Okay. Are the 2 swarms of dolls like essentially
Like next to each other?
to each other?
Yep.
Okay. Then I'm just going to go for a attack with my rapier, and I'm going to cast Green Flame Blade cantrip. So, I rolled a hit. Okay. I'm going to try and hit the one near me. Okay, 19 to hit.
Hit.
And then I do 2d8 to the one near me. That's 9. And then I do 1d8 of the smite, because you said fire doesn't affect them, so this might actually.
You think it wouldn't
that.
affect them as much?
Right. So the
is this all fire
Green Flame
damage?
Blade does a fire damage to the one next to it.
Oh, okay.
So I rolled a 2
to hit or for damage? Okay.
damage.
Sounds good. All right. Anything else you would like to do?
That is my turn. That.
All right. We are back up to swarm number 1. They are still encompassing around L10, now with a beautiful My Little Pony hairstyle on all of them. Basking in his Chad body of the archer.
Instead of My Little Pony, can they be troll dolls? Just because that's how I'm picturing them anyway. That already has
that's
hair.
an even better one. Yes. And they've somehow got little gems on their tummies. No one knows where from. Okay, so their wisdom save would be a dirty 20.
Well, that's going to succeed. And they are only going to take 9 damage because I rolled very well that time.
Is that already halved?
Yeah, that's already halved, yeah.
Okay, so they call out in unison, "Join the adventure of learning, where every page is a new chapter in the story of your brilliance."
I agree with you, and I don't want to fight you.
I wanted to join.
And they clamp down on your archer body for a 24 to hit.
Yeah. That is.
And this time they do 13 piercing damage, magical piercing damage.
That's such a lucky amount of damage for me. I had 15 hit points, so...
It is very good that they are at half size then right now. Go ahead, give me a wisdom saving throw. And please fail because it makes me laugh at what this happens.
I got a 12.
You're the best. So you do fail. So all of a sudden, you feel this like weird like nerve sensation, which is odd because like you don't have nerves. You have like wires and conduits moving through you, but it shoots up your body and all of a sudden you feel this like maniacal laughter erupt out of your body and you just can't control it and you fall over because it's so
No. Oh, I hate that.
Jim, Zeniya, there's something wrong with L10.
Elton.
Jim, you gotta tighten up one of them gaskets like you did before, didn't you?
You are prone
I'm prone?
and incapacitated.
Okay, good. I don't like this.
Because you can just, everything is so funny. Like, it's just, you can't stop. So, yep, you are incapacitated.
I assume that means I lose concentration on my spell. I'm incapacitated.
I think so, yeah.
I think so, yeah.
That's all right.
We're going to say yes.
I'm fine with it.
Yikes.
So you are just laying on the ground, surrounded by troll dolls who thirst for knowledge, laughing hysterically.
Mm-hmm. I could have tried to fight this, maybe, with my Built for Success feature, but I like the laughter getting knocked out.
I'm really glad you didn't. Thank you for making your DM so happy. This is like the one time I actually wanted you guys to fail, just because I wanted it to happen. I swear, one time. Okay, so that is their turn. Next up is L10. You get to take the saving throw again. So if you want to do a wisdom saving throw again to see if you can shake off this maniacal laughter at the end of your turn.
I did shake it off. I got a 26.
Actually, that doesn't pass this time because I don't want it to.
Because we don't want to.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, so now you are just laying on the ground prone because it's the end of your turn. And suddenly things are just not as funny.
Shake it off.
How did I get here?
So you are prone, but you are no longer incapacitated.
Okay.
Next up is Jim.
Okay, was seeing L10 get attacked in such a way to make him laugh. He's not a very jovial little guy ever. This is weird. I'm gonna attempt to guiding bolt that same group that we've been whittling down.
Okay.
Nope, that's not gonna hit. That's a 5.
Yeah, that does not hit.
So I'm going to action surge and use my crossbow and hope that we hit this time. It's a 15.
That just misses. I'm sorry. What happened is they were they're like bent over, laughing still, and it's just such a small target.
I'm so upset about little L10. I hate this.
It'll be fine.
It's fine.
He's totally gonna be great.
Next up is Bob.
So I'm in a swarm, and L10's in a swarm next to me?
And Zeniya's in the same swarm as you. So you guys are basically all butted up together. So you and Zeniya can reach both swarms from where you are with melee if you'd like.
I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna say, looks like we got a lazy bones over here. L10 to get you out of here. And he is going, I'm gonna take opportunity attacks because I just want to get him out of the way. And so my plan was to grapple him, but I guess he's not restrained anymore. So I guess if he allows me to get him away from this swarm, then Bob is going to just turn into full blob form and get underneath him and lift him off the ground a little bit and just ooze him out of the way so that I can get in between him and the swarm.
It's like a waterbed.
That is such a great idea. I just rolled a nat 20 on my opportunity attack.
All right.
So
This is good.
You
That's
take
great.
26 magical piercing damage. Thankfully, they were at half size, so you were at half on there. So as it could have been way worse. And then I need a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
This time, I hope you pass.
Wisdom. I don't know. It's 11.
Oh no! So you make a dash for your friend, and you want to scoop him up and get him out of danger, but you feel the swarm around you that you have successfully whittled down to such a smaller size clamp down along your big tree trunk leg. And you feel that sensation of these like tickling little nerve endings shooting all the way up your body from nerve cluster to nerve cluster, and you just find it hysterical. And you start laughing maniacally and fall to the ground prone and incapacitated.
He just melts into a puddle. He just turns into a puddle of mush and just is like laughing. Something is making that noise. There's like one mouth in this blob. He's completely blue now. He just looks like a blue blob.
That was amazing. Everything about that was perfect, and I want nothing to change.
Just complete failure.
So next up after Bob is, swarm number 2. So swarm number 2 is now just around Zeniya. So we're not going to do a wisdom save because that dropped. So they're just going to do a bite attack against Zeniya. And they got a nat 1.
Okay.
So they fall over.
All of them simultaneously.
Like dominoes. So they miss their bite attack. There's only a few of them left at this point, so their attack's not as coordinated. It's a little sloppy, and they whiff it. Next, after that, is Zeniya.
Okay, so Bob did make it out of the swarm that I'm in. He's just on the floor laughing outside of it.
He's like, he made it out of your swarm, just into the next swarm, because that's basically like one square over.
Okay.
On the floor, laughing, incapacitated.
Okay, I'm gonna do another chromatic orb at the swarm around me, because it's the weaker one. It looks weaker. There's less of them left.
They look about-ish the same, honestly, but yes, technically a little weaker.
Okay. I'm still gonna do chromatic on the one near me. That's a 12.
I'm sorry, that misses.
Okay.
Yeah, they're so spread out now that it's a little hard to start picking on the last few stragglers off.
Okay. I still, would it be an action to pick up Elton, or would that be like a bonus?
It would probably be a full action to actually pick him up, yeah.
You just punt him across the room.
Yeah.
Then I yell, Jim, grab Elton! And that's the end of my turn.
Okay. So that is back up to the top with Swarm 1.
Mm-hmm.
Swarm 1 is around Bob and L10, who are prone. So with their bite attacks, they have advantage.
Not looking good for L10. Or Bob.
So we're gonna roll, let's do Bob first.
Before they attack, L10's eyes glaze over with steam. He gets a vision of the future because he is one of his wizard abilities is he can portend the future. One of his special abilities, he can replace an attack roll with one of the 2 d20s I rolled earlier. I can replace either one of mine or anybody I can see. I rolled an 11 and a 2 on those, so they're rolling a 2 on their attack.
On Bob?
Yeah, on Bob.
Okay, so that happens after the advantage, right? Like
I assume so.
It replaces both. We're gonna say yes. We'll say it replaces both. The equivalent is just a 2. So they fail on Bob's. Do you want me to roll with which is good because they would have gotten a 23 to hit.
Scott, you could have her roll first, and if she whiffs, you could save the 2.
I have to do it before she makes the roll.
Really? Oh, okay.
She does?
So I'm pretty sure it says on the ability.
I thought you could use it after, but I could be wrong.
It says portent. When you finish, you can roll to blah, blah, blah. You must choose to do so before the roll, and you can replace a roll in this way only once per turn. Each roll can only be used once.
Gotcha. Okay.
So.
Okay.
I cannot do anything to save them, but I feel I'd be more likely to save Bob than myself. So, yeah. I'm just taking whatever they do to me.
So you're taking it for that?
I can't replace it again. I can only replace one roll a turn. So I would do it on Bob's.
So unfortunately, I just rolled a nat 20.
You are.
But it's okay. I don't think this is not going to full on kill you, I'm pretty sure. Because they were at half size. Mm-hmm. So even with a nat 20, that is 26 magical piercing damage. So you do go down, I'm guessing. Obviously, I think you had 2 left. Is that right?
Yes.
But your max HP is higher than 24, I'm assuming, correct?
Yes, my max HP is 50.
Okay, so you're just unconscious. You're just out. That's it. And I'm not going to have you do a wisdom saving throw because that seems really morbid to make you just start.
And you don't do the wild shape
laughing
thing with your archer form where you like revert back.
No, I don't believe there's any additional health that comes with that. So with the archer form. So I don't
because like if you wild shape into it with an animal.
Yeah, if you're like a bear, you have a new health pool, but there's no new health pool with the archer. So
okay.
Yeah, I don't think.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, that was a good check. Okay.
Good thought.
Okay, that is the swarm's turn. Next on there is L10. Go ahead and give me a death saving throw, please.
Great. And I never remember how to do death saving throws.
It's just a D20.
1D20. Okay.
1 to 9 is
a fail.
Is your chronology, or I don't know if it's chronology, but your thing.
My
is that 11 for one of these?
My portent.
Portent?
It says I can use it to replace any attack, saving throw, or ability check.
Wait until you. It is.
Let's wait to make that choice until we have to.
I wouldn't do it on the first one. The first one doesn't
matter because I rolled a 19, guys, so we're feeling fine.
19?
Right? Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. You guys all see kind of like a little metal joint kind of pop back into place a little bit. Mm-hmm. He's still out, but we're good. We're good.
Yeah, when he fell down, it looked like there was no steam left in him at all, but then just a little crack of one starts to come out and coil around like a limb, like it's trying to repair itself or whatever.
You know, I was kidding about the total party kill within the first 20 minutes of the podcast. Okay, so that's L10's turn. Jim, you are up.
I just keep firing. I do not like this.
I do not like this.
I'm guessing you're firing at the one that is now around the prone peeps?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, the one that's all up on them. That is, it's a 13 to hit.
That just misses, I'm sorry.
Useless right now. I'm gonna, okay, so I do want to move at least like closer to them while staying on the ceiling, and I want to be just like right above them.
Above the swarm?
Yeah, so like on the ceiling right above the swarms, so at least.
Okay.
Okay, and I'm 15 feet above them.
Uh-huh.
Okay, that'll be my turn.
Okay, Bob, you are prone, and you are still incapacitated, I believe. So go ahead, give me a wisdom saving throw to repeat that save.
Come on, Bob, stop. You're giggling. Stop giggling. Got a 10.
You still find it hilarious. You cannot shake that. It's almost like with you and your ooze form, it's almost like effervescent bubbles are moving all around inside of you. And yeah, it is hilarious, even with L10 unconscious next to you. Next is the second swarm that is around Zeniya. So it is going to take a bite attack, and that is only a 12 to hit, so that misses.
Miss.
And then that is Zeniya.
Okay. So it would be a full action to go pick up L10.
Yes, and you would take an opportunity attack against your swarm.
Yeah.
And then if you tried to leave with him, you would take another opportunity attack from that swarm.
I'm going to take the opportunity attack to go to the other swarm and pick up L10.
Okay. All right. They got a 24 to hit.
Uh-huh.
So that's 13 piercing damage.
All right, I can take it.
And I need a wisdom saving throw.
It's fine. It's fine.
Nothing is funny right
it's
now,
gonna
all right?
be
There's
fine.
nothing funny about this.
Dirty 20.
You feel those little nerve tingles start to move up your ankle, and you're like, no, not
I am
today.
not amused, okay? No. All right, I pick him up and I like throw him like fireman hold like over my shoulder to
Okay.
try and like so I can still kind of move around, hopefully. If
Okay.
not, we'll figure it out.
That's all good. I'm not trying to say that you should do this. Do you want to move out of the swarm that would get
Well,
another opportunity attack, or do you
no.
want to stay there with him just elevated up?
Now that I have picked him up, do I have an idea of can I fight or cast spells with him picked up?
Like one-armed?
Yeah.
What's your strength modifier?
+1.
Oh.
Well, you
He's little, right?
All right.
Is he little?
You, Brooke, roll me a persuasion check right now.
The DM a persuasion check.
Okay. Okay.
I think it makes sense.
And roll it with advantage since you're my best friend.
All right, I got a +1.
His
We'll
size
see.
is small, by the way.
Yeah,
on
he's
the character
small.
sheet.
See, I was thinking about
Yeah.
things when I did this.
And she has emphasized that she has a dancer's physique, so we will
Yes.
see.
Yeah, can I roll a dexterity check instead?
For the persuasion?
I don't think you're trying to persuade.
Because that
rolled
wouldn't work
2.
on me, Becca.
Well, what's Brooke's
I rolled-
charisma modifier? That's what I need to know.
I mean,
It depends on the situation. Okay, so I rolled 2 12s, so that's a 13.
all right, I'll give it to you, you munchkin.
Okay, so
Yes.
I could still
Yes,
fight.
you can do attacks. I will, yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
if you want to limit me to 1 attack instead of 2 on an attack action,
That is a
or
very
like,
good idea. I forgot you had 2 attacks. Yes, well, let's say, because I was going to say with disadvantage, but yes, I will say 1 attack.
Okay,
I will allow.
okay, then I will stay there.
Okay. Cool. Next up is swarm number 1. So L10 is up in the air. They are tiny little guys, so I'm going to say that they are good. But they are going to try to bite at Bob with advantage. We'll start with Bob on this. So that's a 22 to hit, Bob.
That hits. Yep.
So that's 13 piercing damage. And then you are already incapacitated, so you don't need to do a roll on that. And then they will do a bite attack on Zeniya, which is going to miss with only a 12.
Cool.
And that's their turn. So after that is L10. Go ahead, give me another death save there, buddy.
Wow. 13.
Nice. Awesome.
Back in no time, guys. Come on.
You guys see another gear kind of pop back in place. Bob, give me...
The wisdom save.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I skipped Jim. Sorry. We'll go Jim first. Yeah. And then your wisdom save, yes.
Let's see if I can actually hit something. That would be great. That is an 18 on the die. Awesome. So that's a 26
hits.
to hit.
Woo!
Okay.
Do
Nice,
that sneak
that's
That's your
Bad.
attack.
modifier, and you kept rolling like 12 and 13.
Yeah, I have a plus. Yes, I rolled a 5. I think twice.
Oof.
All right. Ooh, there's some big numbers. 16, 19, 22 damage.
There we
to
go.
The same one that was around. The swarm that they're all in, where L10 was,
Yeah.
and now Zeniya is.
Okay, so you completely annihilate the one swarm, which I will have you describe in a second, and then you also cleave substantially into the other one and see that it's basically like a bot.
Hell yeah.
He's gonna
But
live
it's a
all
very
day.
spunky bot. Very spunky. So what does it look like when you annihilate one swarm and then knock out a bunch of the rest?
Well, it's got to be one crossbow bolt that just
There's some
multiple
geometry
goes
happening.
through their heads, or maybe I curved the bullet like in the great James McAvoy film Wanted.
You're Angelina Jolie.
Oh, I get to be Angelina Jolie. Oh
Yeah, she's the cooler one.
That's
Yeah,
everyone's
From
dream.
Wanted.
Yep.
I made your bolts fiery, right? Too, didn't I? Last time, don't they do
Yeah, but
extra damage?
You dipped them, but
Yeah.
I would assume it's out by now.
I thought they did. Maybe not. I
So
don't
we
remember
could
how it was.
add. I mean, we could add a little bit of damage on that. This
A little bit
Just
of oomph, a
randomly
little bit of
occurred
stank
to
on
me.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was You told me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it adds
He took
1d6. It adds 1d6.
Hey.
Look at those notes. So impeccable.
Yep. So that's another 4.
All right.
Oh my gosh, that was literally exactly because they have resistance to fire damage. So that becomes a 2, which is exactly how many HP that last swarm had. So how do you finish that last one single doll that's like la 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 la, and then the fire hits?
I mean,
Learning is great.
yeah, because
Reading is fundamental.
we're gonna play it like the movie in my head where it popped through those first ones, and then the bolt, like Jim remembered, like, oh shit, these are magic, and then it like lit up as it hit that last one, because that's how magic works.
Of course.
Nice.
You see as the last bit of magic right before it takes, that one last doll just is kind of walking like creepily happily by itself in a circle, looking to where it's going to bite next. And it says, discovering new things is like collecting stars in the sky of your mind. Let's reach for the knowledge stars. And then it explodes. And you guys are successfully, oh wait, no, we're not. Hey, L10, give me one last death save for me, please.
Love to.
Hopefully last.
Well, I got a 2 on this one, so it's not last.
I do a medicine check.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead, roll me. Who would be next? Yeah, it would be Zeniya. Yeah, give me a.
It's like they're celebrating, and then like L10's arm falls off, like while she's there.
It's a 10.
Yep, that is enough. It's just a 10
Okay.
to stabilize. So, yep, you are stabilized. No more death saves.
Yay.
I start tinkering. I'm just like, I pull out like a screwdriver from somewhere, and I'm just like.
I hope one of you has healing.
Yeah, anybody who can heal in any way, it'd be a great time to do it.
We don't have any.
Oh, good.
I don't.
Unless Bob, with his plasmoid form, his wonderful, crazy plasmoid alien body, can transfer his second wind ability to his friend.
If we do a short rest.
So what I will. Oh, sorry.
Oh, if we do a short rest, maybe.
Like, yeah, if we do a short rest, or I would be willing to like spend my short rest trying to mend him.
So I
don't have mending.
We're gonna smush. We're gonna smush it together here. So technically, in order to like benefit from a short rest, I learned this from killing time. You have to have 1 HP. So
that's right.
what we're gonna have to do is we are going to combine it, and we will say if you give your short rest or your did you say second wind feature? Is that what you have, Bob?
Yes.
If you count that as used, we will bring L10 up. We can just roll that, and then you guys can short rest also. So we'll just combine it together. That way he can benefit from the short rest. You can all roll your hit dice, but we'll count it that way.
Cool. That's cool. Bob goes, oh, sorry. He like has like a mouth part that comes up off his blob. Oh, sorry about that, guys. Got the giggles. Our friend over here. You guys might want to look away for this. It gets all weird. And he oozes over.
I do not look away.
And covers over L10's body with his ooze form, and then does his second wind ability to give you some healing.
That's so great.
I roll 1d10 plus 6 HP for you.
All right.
And you will get 10 plus 6.
Oh,
so 16 points of healing. I rolled great on that.
Yeah, you did.
Nice.
So
I'm alive! Ooh,
Oh, good. We missed you, buddy. That was...
Am I still in Bob?
Sorry there, buddy.
That's disgusting.
He rolls off of him. He oozes off of him.
Thank you, Bob. That's the first time I've ever been inside of someone and had them inside of me.
I'm disgusted by this.
Where did our friends go?
It's weird. I agreed with everything they said. And yet, we had to kill them.
Knowledge is power, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. So this makes sense.
Ooh, absolute knowledge corrupts. I will have to think about that.
Yeah, that was a little creepy. That's why Jim and I went to trade school.
Yeah, I'm really glad we didn't go to college.
Okay.
Guys, we really can't let L10 go down anymore. Like he's got to stay up. That's
I'm fine.
that was scary. He's got to stay conscious. How you feeling, Elton?
Well, I'm a little bit sad about the time that I missed. Could you please describe everything that happened and or recreate it? Please try to get your hair in the correct placement.
All right, and I cock back my crossbow.
That you fucking crossbow.
It's basically, it's a space shotgun crossbow.
Space.
It's a spice crossbow.
Using a Nerf gun this whole time? What the hell?
That's why I kept missing.
Well, basically, they were like, knowledge is power. You should read and know things, which I agree with. That's basically what happened.
I'm glad they're dead.
Are we short resting now? I take it.
Yeah.
We
So
kinda
as your
have to,
kind,
right?
benevolent DM, you short rest. Short rest.
Cool.
Like if this was a video game and you looked at the doorway across the way, you'd be like, huh, maybe I should short rest before this door.
Yeah.
Save. Click save.
Yeah.
So we can do hit dice and all that stuff. That's all. Oh.
Do all of it. Any
Nice.
abilities that you would get back on a short rest, make sure to get those.
Whatever, I'm back at full health after all that. Used like all my dice, but who cares?
Yeah, same.
I would say as like a...
I got a feeling I'm not going to
use the
need
dice.
them.
Use
yeah,
all of them.
Exactly. Who cares?
Yeah.
All right, well, I'll roll another one then. Cool. I'm at full health.
Yeah, same. It's like, get a lot of hit dice, so it's...
All right. And I get my wild shapes back.
Nice.
Yay, more Chad.
I'm not going to take my second wind ability back, even though I do get it back on a short rest. That seems really dumb. So that doesn't.
I don't know. I think you should take it back.
I would actually honestly allow it because we counted the second win before the short rest, so I would technically allow it. But if you feel
That's
icky, go for it.
It's just like,
I feel icky. Bob is still inside me.
oh, did I miss a piece there? Oh, sorry.
Little slot.
bits of
Oh,
Bob.
that's how you got the healing is some
going
of
back.
the plasma just
Some
stayed
plasma
inside
stayed
you.
inside.
It's like he's holding me together. The bull. Ooh.
Bob's total hit points go down by 5.
If anybody needs a chair during this short rest, I blob into a disguise self so I look like a big beanbag chair.
Like one of those inflatable chairs from the
gosh.
early aughts.
Oh,
Yes,
that's
that's
what
so
I
bad.
want. Yeah.
I had one. It was
I had
clear.
Of course
a
you
blue
did.
inflatable chair, yes.
I had one because I lived in an apartment and all we had was inflatable furniture. In between houses.
Okay.
Oh, I remember that.
No, I always wanted one from the limited too, but never got one. Everyone good?
Yes.
Yes.
Do you mind if I steamroll you and have you walk through the next door? I promise it's not trapped.
Go for it.
Okay.
We trust you.
Okay, you shouldn't. As soon as you cross the threshold, you feel the difference. While the previous rooms had the air of disuse with layers of dust and a musty smell, this lab, the home of the Sims, pulses with life. You are on the far end of the Inquirer now, the old Inquirer, and huge floor-to-ceiling windows take up most of the walls around you, letting in the ambient shimmering swirls of purple, gold, and blue that move throughout the astral sea. The calming kaleidoscope of colors outside serve as a severe visual contrast to the Sims that sits near the far corner of this 60 by 60 foot room. The huge arcane orb pulses with a violent red energy. Tendrils of wires hosing and HVAC ducts twist around its body like a gnarled mass of corrupted vines and weave their way in an intricate tangle around the room. As you watch, the wires begin to thrash violently like tentacles of a sea beast. You know, without a doubt, that it knows you are there and views you as a threat, like a virus that needs to be dealt with swiftly. So to determine what other specifics you notice around the room, we're going to do a group investigation/perception check. So everyone roll one of those and tell me what you got. And with a group check, we just need half of you to pass the DC.
Easy.
So just don't suck.
Bab got a 19.
Nice, pass.
Okay.
We succeeded because Elton got a 21. So.
Perfect. Let's just hear the other ones just for it. Yeah, Zeniya?
Zeniya got a 28.
Oh my gosh,
I
you
rolled
guys
a
are seeing
19.
another dimension.
Just throwing us all
yeah.
up.
No, this is
Jim?
this is good. I'm glad we passed. What's the next part?
I'm glad we all passed equally.
Yeah, well, I'm glad we all did a
We're
great
all
job.
equally
We all
good at
helped.
investigating.
We're all pointing something out, and Jim, it's when people are like, "Do you see that? Oh yeah, I see that."
Oh yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
Oh right
Yeah, it's
there.
a-
Yeah. No, I
it's
didn't
a-
at first, but now
One of those 3D pictures, and it's a boat. Yeah, I can totally see it. I got a 12. It was 12.
Okay,
it wasn't
so
even
not
bad. It was
terrible.
1.
No.
It wasn't a 20.
Not as good as ours.
No.
No.
It was just-
So since we aren't in initiative yet, we did a group roll with the idea that like since you aren't on like the type time constraint of a round, if one of you observed something important, you would have the time and probably the motivation to share it with the group. So I'm going to go around and kind of tell you guys what you're all noticing and telling each other about as you look around the room. Zeniya, something that jumps out at you immediately is that the Sims looks completely different than the last time you were in this room. You haven't been here in a while, but your mom did bring you with her a couple of times when you were younger, when she would come in to do like a quick repair or a checkup on the system. You remember that the inside of the orb used to look like a very like pale red smoke that would gently undulate around. The orb has always been connected to wires and hosing. That's kind of how it accesses and integrates all the different systems around. But it used to just kind of resemble a utility access room, like a cluttered, lots of cables, but just standard utility access room. Something has been growing and festering inside it, and the Sims in front of you now resembles a beast with an infected wound. Jim and Bob, equally.
That's right.
With your training and professions, your eyes immediately focus on the mechanics. You see a screen station on the far side of the room, kind of situated up next to the Sims. And you recognize it as one that the engineers use to interact with the Sims. They have a bunch of these back in the engineer's office. And while the ones back in the office are more designed for like limited remote access, you kind of logic through that with the close proximity to the Sims, this one could potentially have like more influence than one of those remote stations. You also see locations where wires, and hosing have been damaged and are no longer correctly connected to the Sims. So you imagine that kind of as it's thrashing around, it's almost actually been like harming itself in a way. Any of these could be the reason the safety system went down. L10, you are taking in what your friends are pointing out, and you kind of connect the last puzzle piece. You're an autognome. And you know that when Ada created The Sims, she modeled her methods after how mages create autognomes. It was originally a machine that was given a little extra oomph somehow, and now basically is like a mixture hybrid between a beast and that original item or machine. You realize that just like any maybe possessed creature or a being in a true frenzy, the only way to calm the Sims will be to knock it unconscious. And this kind of makes sense, because as we all know, the first question in IT is always, have you tried turning it off and back on again? Everyone roll initiative.
Ooh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
That's
Okay,
pretty good.
Jim, what'd you get?
A 20.
Nice.
I got 22 as well. I got 20 as well.
Wait,
She
a
didn't
20
call
as
on
well,
you
okay.
yet.
Bob,
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to roll off anyways.
Yeah, who has higher dex or roll off, whichever you guys like.
Mine, I got a dex of 16.
You're doing it. Which type
Overall.
of check did you do?
Just a straight, you want to,
What's your
whoever has the
dex
higher
score?
dex, yeah, we'll do that.
My dexterity was a +1, but I got a 12 on my dexterity check.
No, we're not checking. I think she's just saying the higher score goes first.
So if you have a +1, then Tyler would win.
yeah,
You're the
Tyler
dex.
wins.
Mine's a +3.
He goes
Gotcha.
before
Okay.
you. All right, Bob. Quit trying to cut in line.
All right.
Yeah, geez, Bob.
Jeez.
All
Bob.
right, give me 1 second to move these. 'cause
Apers,
they're-
Bob.
Vapors, Bob.
Okay, Zeniya.
Okay, this might be like gambler's fallacy or whatever kind of weird like psychological thing. I roll such shit for initiative all the time. I rolled a nat 1, which is a 5.
Okay.
+4.
I have a
That's so
+4, and I
sad.
have rolled under 10, I think, for every initiative we have done. I rolled terrible initiative.
You're great.
You've got the skills. You just need to learn to apply yourself.
No.
L10, what did you get?
12.
Perfect. Okay, first up is Jim. You are about to kind of come up with your attack strategy when suddenly an intense shockwave moves through the entire Inquirer. It hits with such a force, even the Sims is whiplashed. Everyone give me a dexterity saving throw.
Bowler.
We'll start with Jim. What'd you get?
20.
Okay, pass. Zeniya?
I rolled a 9.
Uh-huh. What? That one does not pass. L10?
L10 needs a second to actually determine what he got using a
Okay, Bob,
various
we'll go
set
with
of
ya.
skills.
Bob got a 19.
Pass.
All right. Well, I originally only got a 10, but I'm going to change my roll to an 11, and then I'm adding 2 to that. Plus, I'm going to use my Built for Success feature to roll a D4. So I got a 15. I don't know.
Oh, that DC was a 15. So just Zeniya, you are knocked prone by this. So you're just
I'm
prone. There's no
flustered.
damage or anything, but you have been knocked prone.
Okay.
You are all momentarily blinded by sharp radiant light that fills the room's windows and causes the nerves behind your eyes to ache. Was that the Sims lashing out? No, it couldn't be. What was that? And then you see it. The Inquirer has unknowingly entered the hunting grounds of an ancient solar dragon. You see it effortlessly destroy a row of planetary transportation pods, scraping them off the body of the Inquirer with its massive claws. You know, even if people could man the weapons of their individual ships fast enough, the only way the Inquirer stands a chance is if the safety system is reactivated. So, you have the Sims monstrosity lashing out at you, as well as causing damage to its own integrated systems. And you have an ancient solar dragon attacking that can only be defeated with the collective abilities of the ship-wide safety system. What are you gonna do? Now, we're gonna start initiative.
Whew.
I give up.
Just roll over and show your belly.
Stop. I just stop.
I just don't. Can I
I
just,
just
not?
don't.
First up is Jim.
Okay.
Do we
Would
need
I-
to do like some checks? Like, is that kind of where we're starting? Is,
Yes.
Like,
So what I was going to say, so a little bit of metagaming here. Basically, you guys have 2 components that you can choose to engage with. And there's technically not one right way to do this, but there could be a lot of wrong ways. So for the actual combat, you're not going to be really engaging with the solar dragon. It is going to be engaging with the actual ship itself. So don't worry about casting spells out there. That is basically on a time clock. You in the room have the Sims itself, which is about 30 feet away from you currently. And it is thrashing around. So it has some heft, like with its reach, it's got more than just the normal melee. I will give you that heads up. But it is thrashing around, attacking you, as well as actively, unintentionally, ripping its own hosing and cabling out as it moves around. So in theory, it could, if you like fix something, it could undo it if it's allowed to stay in this state for too long. Then you also have the safety system, which is really the only way to stop the solar dragon. For that, we are going to do basically a skills challenge embedded in the encounter. So for your action, you can choose to do some sort of a repair. I don't have a set list of repairs that you have to accomplish. I will say that there are a number that you have to accomplish. But what you'll do is you'll propose a skill or an ability that you have. You have to have proficiency with it, is my only rule, in order to do something that would potentially repair the Sims. So you've got like the actual tears and the disconnected things. You also have the screen over there too that you could engage with. You just have to describe it, and then we'll set the DC and the related ability that you have proficiency with. Does that make sense?
Cool.
awesome.
So with that, Jim, what would you like to do?
Yeah, okay, with that, Jim is going to run up the wall, and if it's 30 feet away, I'm going for the disconnected, like, hoses and wires.
Okay, so you want to kind of go up to the ceiling?
Yeah, and my intent is to combine my dexterous feet and my acrobatics to try to get as many as I can. You know,
very cool.
Possible. Get your feet up here. You start, and just try to get as many as I can.
You're doing a Doc Ock.
Oh yeah, pull it all together
to grab everything.
Yeah, go ahead. So you're gonna try to repair the cables by kind of grabbing all of them and like pulling them together.
Yeah.
Do you have any tools proficiencies? You have, I'm guessing, thieves tools as a rogue, but do you have any other ones?
Thieves tool is the big one. I think it's the only one.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's totally fine. I was just going to see if I could give you like advantage on it. But go ahead and give me an acrobatics check for me to see if you can kind of spider your way across and start connecting these hosing that has separated as the Sims has thrashed around.
23.
Amazing. So you are basically a little elastic man up there. You have been around Bob for the last couple hours, and you are channeling his Gumby-like body and reaching at like angles that shouldn't be actually possible and like make other people's bodies hurt to think of the joints doing that. And you are able to successfully connect some disconnected hosing, and you hear like steam that had been kind of angrily hissing out of them start to resume its normal pressure in that area. And you have gained a success with the safety systems.
Nice.
Next is an environmental. So we'll just go like in around. I'll have you guys roll which environmental effect happens. Brooke, why don't you start? Well, you roll a d6 for me, please.
No, not her.
Yes. I should roll the first one. 2. The ship breaks.
Yeah,
we fly outside.
Everyone is dead.
Solar dragon kills us.
Okay, so L10, Zeniya, and Bob, you all see a black shadow that spreads out from the Sims and starts slithering and writhing on the ground towards you. Everyone, not Jim, because you're off to the side. The rest of you 3, give me a wisdom save.
Nat 20.
Nice!
Mm-hmm.
That actually doesn't pass, though.
Niner.
Okay.
I got a 26 for L10.
Okay. Bob, do you have any immunity to being frightened by any chance?
Oh, no.
Okay. So...
You're supposed to say yes.
Oh, yeah.
I totally do.
Just not scareable.
You see these like this shadowy form oozing out from the Sims and spreading towards you, and you are frightened until the end of your next turn. So for your next turn, you need to take the dash action to move as far away, but you're already on the perimeter of the room and you're not going to leave the room. So you actually won't move anywhere, but that is your action and everything like that.
So I have to run, or is it just I can't get closer to it?
You probably have to dash on that first turn, and then while you're frightened, can't.
Yes, it's only the first turn that you. Yeah. Yep.
Okay, gotcha.
But is there any pipes in the room that he can squeeze into to get as far away as possible?
Ooh, I love it. You just see him like move up, like in Charlie in the Chocolate Factory.
If it's a 1-inch space.
Oh no,
If that door has a 1-inch space underneath, I gotta go through it.
You're just like on the other side of the ship by the end of this encounter. Well, next up is Bob. So you have used your action, but you do have a bonus action if you have anything you want to do on that. Because you've technically your movement and your action is taken.
What the hell is that? It's up against the wall, like flattened, like a pancake against the wall.
Amazing.
Just a big circular.
You just look like a wet spot on the wall?
Bonus action, I am going to look like a painting to try and blend into the wall.
Mm-hmm. What painting do you want to look like? What's in your painting?
The painting of the scream from the ship. I'm gonna try and look like that one. And and instead of the scream
Edvard
person,
Monk.
it's gonna be my plasmoid form going like that.
I love it. Love everything about this.
Can I roll a performance or something to see how good it is?
I would love for you to roll a performance.
How good is it?
It's a nat 20!
It is the painting.
Yay!
The painting.
Glad you've wasted a nat 20 on this.
I know.
that wasn't
It's not a waste to me.
It never is wasted.
The beauty of art
gosh.
is never a waste.
You know,
So
Elton,
good.
you're correct. I agree with you.
So next up is actually The Sims. You all see it thrashing around. Hey, Bob. Give me a wisdom saving throw with disadvantage, please.
Oh,
But he's a painting.
but I'm a painting.
Look how beautiful he was as a painting.
He was a beautiful painting.
Wisdom saving throw with disadvantage. That is a 5.
Yeah.
Does that pass?
Does that pass? But if it wasn't with disadvantage, I got a 7.
Oh, that does pass. No, just kidding.
So
Okay. You are plastered against the wall. And you see this form, like this shadow edging towards you. And your mind is pulled to a memory. What is Bob's darkest memory?
he's on a ship, much like this, chaos all around him, ravagers ravaging the ship, various kobolds swinging and murdering his plasmoid family, and him running to an escape pod to try and get away alone.
You feel your body want to stop as this memory just overtakes you. And the cells itself seem to hurt inside of the ooze. And you feel yourself take 44 psychic damage as this horrible memory is pulled up to the surface.
Ouch.
You see Bob's little form, the scream, in the painting just like melt into a puddle.
What the hell
But
did
you are no
roll,
longer
Becca?
frightened.
Okay.
44? What'd you roll? Damn.
Glad we took all that short rest.
Golly, good lord.
Yep.
Oof.
Next up is L10.
Oh boy, that's me. Wow. Well, part of me wants to heal him, but the other part of me says we got a lot of people taking turns here. And so L10's going to do what he was going to do anyway, which is
My friends, you all help me. This time is dark. I will help you.
his head starts spinning, more steam comes out, and he shoots out a little blip at each of you to cast Bless. A little blip of his essence spurts like at you and kind of goes around you to protect you. So you all have that D4. For future rolls, a shame it couldn't help on any of these rolls leading up to this point, but yeah.
Should have rolled better on initiative.
Yikes, apparently, yeah, gosh.
Oof.
Maybe if Kyle hadn't cut in line, and he could have.
Yeah, Kyle, why'd you roll so good initiative?
Right?
Okay, so that's my action right there. For my movement, I want to go toward the screen, I think, to take a look at it.
Oh, okay.
If
Yeah.
I can. Yeah.
Yep. You move forward and you are next to the screen.
Then an action and movement, and then I'm trying to, quickly parse through here what all else I can do for a bonus action real quickly. Obviously, that won't take me more than a second. It's just a character sheet. How hard could it be to get through? And I'm going to...
Yeah, totally normal character sheet that's not overwhelming at all.
Yeah.
Totally normal, just simple, straightforward character sheet.
I'm going to, inspired by the dragon that I see outside, its majestic constellation is going to kind of activate a little bit in my brain, and I'm going to go into another starry form. I'm going to take my bonus action into my dragon's constellation form right now, which, yeah, cover me up in steam and fucking move away, and I'm like dragon robot man now standing here.
Hell yeah!
Now when I make intelligence or wisdom checks or con saving throws to maintain concentration, I can treat everything as a 10. If I roll a 9 or lower, I get
That's
to treat it as a 10.
amazing.
Yeah.
What the hell? That's awesome.
So,
Why don't you just walk
also-
around like that?
I know. And I'm ruling that you're still covered in your rainbow sparkle paint. So
Good.
you are the most beautiful robotic dragon.
Oh, Lisa Frank Robo Dragon over here.
All of these early 2000s references are making my heart so happy, which we needed after poor Bob's
Good.
turn.
Keep us alive because you're happy. So
Yeah. No.
All right. And
Tis
then
the
I
roll
will
of the
just
die.
begin studying this panel in front of me and hoping I can do something on my next turn with it.
Okay. So next up is Zeniya.
All right, I don't want to be like overly like cheesy or like trying to like get more out of this turn than I should, but my mom did make Sims. So I would love to make like a history check to just like compare what I knew about it before to what I'm seeing now, and like I want to give myself like, because Zeniya is a very pragmatic woman. She's like, what is the most effective and most like short-term thing that will get me the results I want? So I want to know like, what is the most effective thing I can do right now based on the information I have compared to the information I knew before. So so like history or investigation, like what can I do to like, so I know what the best thing to do in the situation is.
Okay, for your ability check, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. So do you have...
I have proficiency in both history and investigation.
Perfect. Yeah, give me... Let's do a history. I think that would be probably the most, because you've been in this room before a long time ago. So let's see if you can pull from that childhood memory.
Okay. All right, here we go. I dropped my D4. Okay, here we go. Second D4. That's a 4. Okay. 18 plus 9.
I got so anxious for you.
I don't know. Okay, 27. 27 history.
Yeah, you immediately, like, you almost have like an encyclopedic memory of what this room used to look like. And you are able to spot a location kind of closer to the Sims that has come loose. It's some cabling that is closer up there. And you are able to, L10's already up there, so we're just gonna kind of, for the theater of the mind, we're gonna fudge it a little and say that with your history check, how you remember and you're able to hone in on that, and you guys are able to successfully connect another cable into the Sims and get one more of the security system elements up and running.
Okay. If I bonus action Blade Song, does that give me... No. That just gives me plus to AC and con. I was thinking if I could give me an extra action, maybe I could do 2 skill checks, but it doesn't. So never mind. Okay, that's my turn.
Perfect.
Okay.
All right. Outside, the luminescent body of the solar dragon twists around as its massive jaws release a plume of radiant energy on a residential dragonfly spelljamming ship. Wood splinters and warning sirens blare throughout the Inquirer, urging the passengers to move towards the interior as far as possible. Inside, the Sims thrashes, whipping its cable tentacles toward you. The blood-red smoke inside the orb shifts, and something begins to slither out of the orb itself, oozing about 10 feet away from the orb, where it stops and begins to pool. As the pool deepens, it appears to defy gravity. As it deepens upwards instead of down, you realize that it is taking on a humanoid form. Everyone roll me a perception check, and I'm going to give you a heads up that the DC is not the same for all of you.
Ooh. Come on, perceive, Bob.
Perceive.
Jim, what'd you get?
13.
13, okay. Bob?
11.
Lievin? Zeniya?
6.
Oop.
L10?
Nat 1 for an 8.
Damn.
Great job. Lucky for you all, the DC is different for some of you. So, gentlemen, what you see is a little maybe more vague than what Zeniya sees. Zeniya, you feel your heart drop into your stomach as you recognize the form in front of you. The proud, straight-backed pose, the athletic dancer's body, the long pointed ears and short nose, all so similar to your own. Similar, but not the same. Despite not having any true memories of her of your own, you immediately recognize the Gith woman standing in front of you from the picture that has rested on your bedside table for as long as you can remember. Your mother, Valentina Savitz. Valentina died before your first birthday, but you know her story by heart, having begged Ada to tell it to you again and again as a bedtime story. Valentina was a fighter pilot who flew a pygmy whale ship, a single-person vessel. She traveled with a group of adventurers, and together they called themselves a whale pod. They traveled around the astral sea exploring, doing odd jobs, and helping protect people when needed. Your moms met when Valentina's whale pod asked to dock with the original Inquirer for a couple weeks, while they did repairs after a particularly rough fight. They fell in love, and a couple weeks turned into months, and then they had you. Valentina and the rest of her pod died after answering a distress call from a vessel under attack by a beholder tyrant ship almost 100 years ago. You have no idea why this apparition form of your mother stands before you, but you see it square up against all of you, ready to fight. And with that, it's Jim's turn.
Okay. And I, of course, see all of this, and I'm like, oh, that's her mom.
I do think Zeniya would be too, she's too in the moment to, shout out anything. So, you guys don't have that information, I don't think.
Yeah, you see a almost identical, very similar looking to Zeniya apparition Gith woman squaring up in front of the Sims to fight you all. And it's actually pretty close, just to let you heads up, it's pretty close to where L10 is.
Of course it is.
Why? That's not
L10,
nice.
what are you doing? Get him right there.
Wait, how close?
5 feet.
Cool.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Ooh.
I don't know why you guys are stressed. This is just super straightforward.
Super normal.
Super normal.
Is there any notion or any feeling that there's more to do on The Sims, or is this the next priority?
So you do not have the you did not get the feeling that the safety systems have come completely back online, because you know that if they had, you would have seen them interacting with the solar dragon.
Yeah.
So there's something more you can do. But you also know that the longer you let the Sims kind of thrash around, that there's the possibility of it undoing some of the things that you have been fixing. And now there's also this apparition that is going to effectively start attacking as well.
Okay. So I'm up. I've got these wires. Can I kind of want to just get more wires in and see if I can weaken it, or at least give us more there.
I will clarify, the wires would help the safety system. It wouldn't technically weaken the Sims. That makes sense. So you're not doing damage.
Yeah.
You're actually repairing it. You're not getting HP or anything. I'm not that mean, but yeah.
Okay. Then can I use acrobatics again to try to get more wires or hoses or something?
This time, give me do you have sleight of hand?
Not proficient.
Do you have proficiency in thieves tools though?
Yes.
Okay, I will have you, let's do that one instead so we don't repeat abilities, but we'll have it as basically a very similar thing, except you're going to be using your tools that you have with you to help try to connect those wires and cables and hosing around you.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll that.
Rolling thieves tools is proficiency plus
Plus your dex.
Okay. So it'll be a +6. That's a 19.
Awesome. You are able to, you come across some of the hosing clamps that can hold it into place on the ceiling, and you see that some of them have busted away and come undone. So it's allowed like the hosing to become unsupported and weakened, and you are able to use your thieves' tools for like an alternative purpose in this case to re-secure those hosing clamps to the ceiling, and you are able to successfully complete a repair.
Awesome.
Any bonus action you'd like to take or movement?
Let me move back toward... Okay. Yeah, let me move back toward where L10 is right next to
Valentina?
Zeniya's mama. Valentina?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let me go over her. I would like to attempt to... I'm actually gonna... Can I action surge to use another action?
Yeah.
And attempt to hit her? Like that?
Yeah,
that's
go
what
for
I'd like
it.
to do. I didn't know how much this one counted repairing wise. So yeah, I'm gonna shoot my cross. I'm like above her and I'm just gonna,
right down into the fucking
so many
top of the
crossbows.
skull. Yeah.
Right into her. Yep.
So are you above her on her ceiling, just so that I know?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
On the ceiling above her.
Cool.
Ooh, that's good. Does a 26 hit?
It does hit.
Hell yeah. And she's within 5 feet of my little buddy?
Yeah, you get sneak attack, man.
Ooh, okay, that's big. 12, 17, 18, 21. Plus another d6 because they're still on fire. 21. It's 22. I only got another extra one. 22.
Oh, total? Okay. Perfect. You hear it kind of like screech back. It doesn't actually move because it can't. It's not a turn, but it screeches back in pain as that.
I'm sorry, Zeniya. I don't really want to hurt your mother, but she seems to be in the way here, and Elton is, well, he's more my friend than your mother was.
I don't know what's happening.
You're my friend too, Jim.
Oh, thanks.
Hey, Jim, give me a d6 roll to see what environmental effect happens. They're totally gonna be fine. Don't
Nothing
worry.
happens this time.
2.
Hey, that's what I
Okay,
rolled.
we already did it too, so go ahead, give me one more.
No.
Then next time
don't
tell me
need
to
no
roll
more
a
trauma.
d5. 1.
All right, all of you just roll a flat d20 so I can see who this affects. I'm just gonna say whoever gets
Really?
the lowest is who is gonna go after it. I'm not gonna decide. You guys get to decide.
Are you fucking nat 1? So it's me. It's a 1. It's gonna be Elton.
Well, good. I rolled a 4.
The only person who doesn't have bless is who it's gonna affect. So perfect.
Oh, right. Bless. Yeah. Well, this isn't a bit. Well, whatever. You rolled.
No,
that
it was
one.
just a pure luck check, and you had the best
I'm saying
luck
whatever's
of
gonna
all.
happen here, though, I don't get the advantage of having a bless on it. Whatever's next.
Give me a wisdom saving throw, please.
Okay, well at least I'm very good at wisdom saving throws. So
You got this.
yeah,
Oh, with advantage. I'm sorry. Give me
with
a
advantage.
Yep, it's just a property of the thing, not because of you.
Okay, well, not because of me.
Yeah, you
huh?
didn't do anything special.
You didn't do anything special, so stop acting like
I
it.
am special. I got a 22.
Nice.
Special.
You feel a sizzling sensation that like moves up your back. I was gonna say spine, but I don't know if you have one of those. And suddenly your brain kind of goes staticky, but then it clears and you're totally fine.
Fine.
Must have been a dust cloud inside my steam. Ooh.
Oh.
Next up is Bob. So you are no longer frightened because that seems super cruel after what happened to you last time, but actually it's because you took damage. But so you are across the room currently, but you could, with movement, get to that apparition or the Sims, whichever.
Okay.
You can also do something else if you want.
Bob's gonna rage, is what he's gonna do.
That's smart.
Are there still things thrashing around? Or
Yeah,
like
they're all like part of the Sims though themselves. So
okay. Because if there's something that he can grapple onto, I know we've like plugged a bunch of things in, but like that's what he would be able to do the best is like try to fix the ship. He like wants to fix the ship, I think, before attacking. So if there's something obvious he can like do a grappling ability to like plug something in. is what he would want to be able to do. I don't know if that's an available option right now, because if it's not like an obvious thing, then he's gonna try and go for the apparition person thing.
So you guys don't have any ones that you have obviously identified, but give me do you have any tools that you're proficient with like your profession and background?
Well, I picked carpenter's tools, but in my mind they were just janitorial tools.
Right, yes, I will totally take that. I'm not going to say
janitorial tools.
Janitorial.
Yeah,
I am not going to split hairs on that. So what I'm going to do is have me give me a perception check, and you're going to actually roll it with advantage because of your proficiency in carpentry tools, and we're going to see what you noticed after Jim's last repair.
Oh, one of them was a nat 20.
Nice. Yes. So with your background, this completely makes sense that you noticed this. With your profession and your proficiencies, you felt something shift when Jim made that last connection. You guys haven't seen the Inquirer interact with the Solar Dragon since that last connection, but you feel like something has changed since Jim made that last successful throw, and that's all I will mega hint towards you.
Okay, something's changed. So I'm gonna attack the apparition then.
Perfect.
And gonna run up to it. I'm gonna do a shove action for my shove attack, and so I'm gonna try and shove this apparition prone. If that's gonna even work, I don't know. If it's a, I guess we hit it with like an arrow before. So, but what I do is that's a contested like strength check.
Strength check. Okay.
Yeah. So it's a 15.
Okay. So it rolled a 9, but when you go to shove it, you feel yourself kind of like pass right through, and nothing happens.
Okay. So
but you can still attack, but it's not going to be prone, is what I'm saying. Yeah.
But it's like, so I can.
You
still attack it. And
you can
hit
still attack
but-
it. It cannot be knocked prone, is what I'm. Yeah.
Gotcha. So it's probably not going to be able to be grappled then, is my guess.
With what you just felt, with that, yes.
Seems unlikely.
No grapple or prone with this guy.
Okay. Then I will try and smack it then.
Okay.
So
Smack away.
Swing at it. And that is a 22 to hit.
Hit.
And that will be 7 points of bludgeoning damage. If I can take that.
Yep. Awesome.
And I'm
Anything
just
else you'd
full
like to do?
plasmoid humanoid form, just
Wailing?
trying to smack at it. Yep.
Anything
My
else
true
you'd
form.
like?
Yes. I'm gonna do my second wind as bonus action to get some healing back.
Okay. I don't know why you would need to heal. You haven't taken that much damage.
Not that much.
It's been fine.
damage. Oh wait, no, I can't do that because I raged. Never mind.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
I can't do that because I raged.
Or bastard.
All right, that's it.
You lying bastard.
I lied. almost pulled a fast one on you. That's it.
Okay. So that is the Sims that's next, and it lashes out with 2 of its cable tentacles, swatting at Bob and Jim, who it can reach on the ceiling, trying to swat it like a piñata. But I just rolled like shit and got only a 9 to hit on Jim
Nice.
and a 11 to hit on Bob. So I'm guessing both of those miss. So you guys see it kind of just like whip like a horse whip, but just circle around you and whiff by, just barely brushing. I'm gonna say the hair, but it would be hair for Jim. Then
I don't know.
the ooze follicles.
The
The
meniscus.
fumes.
You almost hit
Yeah.
my meniscus
Lo-
of the.
yeah,
the
perfect.
liquid.
Not gross at all. Love it. Next is Valentina, the apparition. So she is right in front of, Bob is right above her, and Jim is right above her, and Bob is right next to her. So she's going to hit or go after Bob. And you see a kind of almost like a spear that it looks almost like a rapier, but made out of pure radiant light, come forward and erupt straight through you for a 21 to hit.
That hits.
Oof.
Mom's good. She's good.
She's good.
And she does 20 radiant damage to you.
Ooh, Bob's looking weak. He's looking weak. Radiant damage, you said?
Yes, yeah, radiant damage.
That doesn't get halved from rage, my friends.
It does not.
Yeah, but that is her turn.
Okay.
Next is L10.
Cool. This thing's also next to me, right?
Yep, so you are in technically melee with it. It hasn't gone after you that.
Yeah. And
but-
how close am I to, if I were trying to melee attack the Sims, how close am I to it?
You are currently 10 feet away.
Okay, so I could theoretically occupy a spot that was within 5
you
feet
could
of
use
both
your movement.
it and the Sims. I'm not going to be moving. I'm just making sure that an entity could occupy a space like that as I start whistling. Come here, boy, I say at nothing. And I summon Mordecai's faithful hound, but next to the Sims and the monster next to me.
Yeah.
It's between the two of them, which is a phantom watchdog in an unoccupied space that I can see, nobody else can see it. It remains for the duration, which is 8 hours, or until I dismiss it or move 100 feet away from it. The hound is invisible, like I said, and when anything that is hostile to me is within 5 feet of it at the start of my turn, it tries to make an attack at them. At the start of each of my turns, the hound attempts to bite one creature within 5 feet of it that is hostile to you. The hound's attack bonus is equal to my spell casting ability modifier for proficiency bonus. On a hit, it deals 48 piercing damage. So I'm just putting that next to the Sims, which is definitely hostile toward me. Just to sit there for the rest of the game because it's not concentration.
It's next to the Sims and my mom.
Yes.
Like it's next to
it's
both.
like in between them.
Yes, exactly.
So whichever.
So she can move,
I'm so
but
sad
I'm
Bob
assuming
can't
that
see this
it
good boy.
can't move.
He's such a good boy.
So theoretically,
Okay,
no matter
so-
what, this thing will attack the Sims for 8 hours. We can just leave, guys.
Like my work here is done. Just remind me about taking that damage because I will forget.
All right,
so.
I have to. Well, I'll make it roll on my turn, I guess, to attack.
On your
you.
turn? Oh,
Yeah,
perfect.
It says at the
Great.
beginning of my
Okay.
turn, so I'm assuming we won't count it on this turn that I have conjured
That's fair.
it
Okay.
into existence.
That makes
I
sense.
guess. But the good news is it can't be hurt or take damage in any. It's there. It's gonna be there.
Nice.
So,
Very cool.
and then I cast a spell, which means there's really nothing else I can do right now, right? I don't have a bonus
Okay.
action way of trying to deal
You
with
could go
this.
into your archer form, I guess, if you want. I don't know if that
but
gets
I
you.
want-
Oh no, wait, you're already a dragon.
I'm already a
Never
dragon,
mind.
so that I can keep concentration on the bless guaranteed and pass all intelligence checks I might need to make to
Nice.
fix this thing. So, yeah, that will
Perfect.
be it for L10 right now. But I will say that
Please be respectful. My guard dog does not like you.
to the to the mom in front of me. What languages did she speak? I speak Celestial, Common, Druidic, Elvish, Gith,
Well,
Gnomish,
she
and
looks like a
Drycree.
Gith. So
Gith, there we
you
go. I
can
say it in
expect
Gith.
And she hasn't spoken anything, so there you go.
she looks like me.
Zeniya, it is your turn.
Okay. Jesus Christ, Becca. Everything, literally everything is happening. Okay. I'm worried about my living mom. I'm worried about my dead mom that I've never essentially met. She's in front of me. Okay, so as part of my character background, I took the Wild Spacer, which meant that I have spent time in the astral sea. I went out and I spent a lot of time out in the astral sea in order to kind of, like, my character really wanted to pay homage and, like, respect my past mom and really work on being, you know, like someone who can go out there and survive and fight these things that are out there, because that's how she died. And I've literally fought a solar dragon before. That's how I have, like, the big, like, scar that's across my face. Like, literally everything that is important to this character is happening right now. So, okay. I have no idea if this is a good idea.
So you should do it.
What I really want to do is, as I get awry, which is my passed away mom and myself. We both have detect thoughts naturally as a species. Even though I know this is not physically my mom, it's clearly meant to represent my mom in some way. I would love to cast detect thoughts and just see if I can understand what's happening in some kind of more meaningful way. Like, that's where her mind is at. It's like, my mom died before I was 1. I never even got to talk to her. This is clearly her, like, astral form in front of me. Like, all of these pieces are coming together. I want to talk to my mom.
Yeah.
Is that something I can do?
I'm gonna allow it, yeah.
Okay. I cast detect thoughts on the form that looks like my mom.
So you are probing into her mind, right?
I
This
am.
does not allow you to talk back, or does it allow you to actually speak?
Okay, let me bring up the actual spell. Of certain creatures, when I cast the spell as an action, blah, blah, blah. If the creature you choose has an intelligence of 3 or lower and doesn't speak any language, the creature is unaffected. You initially learn the surface thoughts of the creature, what is most on the mind in that moment. As an action, you can either shift your attention to another creature's thoughts or attempt to probe deeper into the same creature's mind. If you probe deeper, the target must make a wisdom saving throw. If it fails, you gain insight into its reasoning, if any, to its emotional state, something that looms large in its mind. If it succeeds, the spell ends.
Great. So
That's
you
essentially the
cast detect thoughts. And you haven't done this very often because it's kind of, it's weird to do it on like a normal person,
Yeah.
but you feel the difference right away. This is almost like listening to an old recording. It's staticky. Like you're trying to get in a radio station that's just out of range, and little pieces are coming in that all amount to the need to protect, the need to defend, and also you're getting hatred. You're getting a sense of strong emotional hatred coming off of her,
Mom
which
hates you.
doesn't align with a lot of what you have ever heard Ada talk about. Like your mother, Valentina wasn't a necessarily like warm, bubbly person, but she literally spent her life like helping people and like doing things for people. So having that intense of an emotion feels wrong and corrupted. You, with this spell, know that you're right. Like, this isn't your mom. It was maybe at one time, and it's maybe a little bit of whatever was left when she passed. And that's what you get from it.
Okay. That was my action, was to cast that spell. Bonus action, I'm going to go into my blade song.
Okay.
And prepare to fight. And that's my turn.
All right. Out the window, you see the solar dragon attempt to attack the residential dragonfly spaceship again. But as it attempts to swipe at it with its massive tail, an arcane shield deflects the blow. Ballista fire at it from 20 different ships all at once. You see now that you have successfully brought the safety system back online, and the Inquirer is fighting back. Everyone give me a perception check.
Oh, that's probably good.
That seems good.
You said
only a good
deception, right?
I need
check.
investigation.
I will take investigation too.
Oh, you will?
5.
Oh, okay.
Will you take Arcana or Religion too?
In this
roll
particular
stealth.
instance, no.
I'm just rolling stealth.
All right. For investigation, that would be a 25.
Nice. Bob, what'd you get?
5.
Okay. L10?
20.
Okay. Jim?
12.
Okay. So this one actually is not too hard to spot. I will say that, which is probably good for Bob. Throughout the fight, your
dragon
eyes have continuously moved back and forth between the action inside the Sims lab and the solar dragon. You know it's important to stay focused, but you can't completely tune out the huge threat to your people and your home. It is because of this that you notice the small change right outside the lab window. A little spot of yellow and bright red. No bigger than a foot or maybe 2. Now how in the world did a pudgy little yellow teddy bear in a red shirt end up floating in the astral sea? Jim, it's your turn.
Damn it.
Can't escape him. Can't escape him.
This is perfect. The timing of this is perfect.
Considering it was Nutmeg that sent him to the astral sea.
Yep. He's just fucking floating out there. Ooh,
Eating some honey? Yeah, of course. You gotta be.
Oh, there's a big old dragon. Okay. All right, so Sims is back online.
Christopher.
Safety systems is back online, and now you
Okay.
have the apparition that has been hit. The Sims has not been, the orb itself that you guys intuited that you did need to basically knock unconscious has not been touched at all.
Okay.
Fine.
It's great.
Then, all right, it seems like,
Well, it seems like, some.
what's your name? Zendaya? Zendara?
Zeniya!
Zendaya.
Rude!
I've got so
the
many
Bronx
names
is
written down. This is the problem with notes, is I've got a lot of names. Jim's gonna move over to the actual Sims and start attempting to just like
Whale
get
it.
it to shut down. Yeah, I think just
Yeah.
get as close as he can and just cross bolt as many times as possible, which is only one. But,
But it's within 5 feet of my dog, so don't you get sneak attack? Because that's a hostile creature.
Hell yeah.
I mean, technically, I'll count it. Yeah, go for it.
I could just get behind it and it would.
But the funny part is, Jim can't see the dog, so he has no idea why he's doing extra damage.
Yeah. Ooh, does a 16 hit?
A 16 does hit.
I'm using those magic fire arrows still. I think I've got
Perfect.
9 left. So 10, 19, 20, 23 to the Sims.
Excellent. Perfect. Anything else you would like to do?
No, I'm just gonna kind of. The Sims itself doesn't seem to be moving, right?
So it's got basically tentacle arms, but the orb itself is stationary.
So if I got if I just stayed close to it,
Yep.
I
You'd
don't
be good.
think it's gonna
Yeah.
hit me. And
Well, a cable could reach you, but
Okay.
but it can pretty much
that
reach
could reach
wherever.
me just
so.
about anybody.
Yeah.
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 That's Jim's turn.
All right. Let's see. Tyler rolled the last d6. Scott, give me a d6, please.
Yes, I will.
And don't
do
roll
that.
a 1 or a 2 because we already did those.
Okay, even if I do, I'll just lie.
Okay.
I rolled a 3.
Perfect. Oh, yeah.
I mean a 4, depending on
Nope,
how
too
excited you
late.
are.
You gave me a 3, I take a 3. So, it would be Jim, Bob, and L10.
Well, that's not fair.
Hey, Zeniya, did you move on your last turn? I forgot to scoot you.
I did not, no.
Okay, I didn't think so. All right. So,
Just
yeah, so
invaded her dead
L10.
mom's brain immediately.
Yep.
Fine, yeah.
Just psychically.
L10, Bob, and Jim, give me a wisdom saving throw, please.
Another wisdom. Come on,
You get
Bob.
to add D4s to these two with plus.
Plus
These are
the
saving
D4.
throws. Get that D4 in there, Jim. Maybe
Add
it'll
a
save you.
Add a D4. Add a
19
D4,
total.
Tyler.
Well, I'm
Don't
doing
look
it,
sad.
but it's not getting any worse.
Bob, did you get a 19? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Nice. That is
L10 got a
pass.
24. Let's hear what Jim got.
Pass. Jim, what'd you get?
Jim got a nat 1,
Oh, no.
which then becomes a 0 with his modifier, which plus bless becomes a 4.
You're welcome.
Wow.
That bless really came in clutch there.
So wait, you got a nat 1? Is that what it was
I
originally?
got a nat 1. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I will remind. I brought it up the last episode, but we have a home table rule that the nat 20s giveth and the nat 1 taketh away. So on this, you feel the air around you stiffen and tighten around your body like a vice. While normally you would be just restrained until the end of your turn, You're on the ceiling. And you rolled a nat 1. So you fall to the ground below. Go ahead, roll me a d6, please.
I just land on the orb.
Roll low.
Can I cast
5.
Featherfall on him so he doesn't take any damage?
I do
Not
have...
just because it's in this particular instance.
I mean,
Normally,
I do
yes.
have my glide, the glide.
Yeah, but this
ability.
you were hit with something that...
Yeah, you were hit with a
Yeah.
restrained, unfortunately. So you take 5 bludgeoning damage as you just slam into the ground. And it actually feels like it hurts more because of your natural glide ability and everything like this. It's like insult to injury, and also this has never happened to you before. And so you kind of feel the air knock out of you, and you are restrained until the end of your next turn.
All right.
I told you to roll low.
true.
Why
I
didn't you do
tried.
Yeah,
it?
just listen.
I tried.
Jim, I don't know if you're aware, but the Hardozi have an ability to glide, so in the future you shouldn't fall and hurt yourself.
Thank you, Elton. I'll remember that next time.
It's weird. You're the one who taught me it. I would think you would remember.
I like to... Oh, that's a great little image there.
This is how you glide.
Hey, Bob, it's your turn.
Bob's turn. I want to these flailing pipes around that could still hit us and stuff. I want to restrain them. I want to keep them from moving around from hitting anybody, if that is a thing that they are doing.
I want you people to attack the damn orb is what I want.
The orb in the middle, can I grapple the orb? All I want to do is
I know you want to
grapple
grapple something.
That's
Yeah, you're
all
right.
I want to
I'll let you
try
grapple.
and do.
You
is
know.
grapple something.
Go ahead and give me what would it even be? One of the intelligence-based ones. Just give me an intelligence check, please.
Okay.
See if you can
great.
logic
My
through this.
Intelligence is a -1.
I believe in
modifier,
you.
So
I figured I was choosing a really good one for you. You can still use your bless, though.
about 13. How does that do?
Nice. Yeah, that's enough. So yeah, you can figure out that while the apparition, even though it can take damage, it's not really possible to wrap or restrain or knock it prone. The Sims can be.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so that's what I want to do is I want to grapple it.
Perfect.
So I'm gonna grapple it. So that's gonna be a strength check and a contested strength.
Okay.
I rolled a 25 on that.
Yeah, you beat it. It got a 15.
Cool. Let's see. Okay. So I'm gonna hit it. That's 20 to hit.
Hit.
And that is gonna be 6 points of bludgeoning damage.
Nice.
Wow. And I'm an action surge.
Okay.
So we're gonna hit it 2 more times. Yeah. And that is a 13 to hit.
That misses.
Okay. And then a 13 to hit. So 2
Oh.
misses by action surge.
Wait, did you add your
no.
bless to those
I did not.
13s to hit?
I did not.
You are still
So
blessed,
the
my
first
friend.
13 is now a 16.
Hit.
Okay. So for that first one is gonna be 10 points of bludgeoning damage.
Nice.
And the second 13 is now a 14.
That misses.
Okay.
All right. Anything else you'd like to do?
Nope.
All right, that is the Sims' turn. So with grapple, they can still take attacks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it just can't move.
Perfect. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hybrid this. So it attacks with its cables. But as with your grapple, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take away one of its attacks. And so it'll have just one cable tentacle that it can lash out at.
Okay.
So it is going to lash out at, let's see. Well, let's see, I bet it'll lash out at you because you're grabbing one of its cable arms. So it's gonna try to break that. So let's see. Oh, but it only gets it'll be a 13 to hit.
That does not hit.
Perfect, so it whiffs by you as you are successfully restraining the other one.
Cool.
Next up is Valentina the Apparition. It can reach Bob and L10, but Bob's kind of moved over out of there. So I think it's going to go after L10 on this. Let's see.
What have I ever
It is
done?
going to take its rapier, and it's an 18 to hit.
That would hit, but I'm gonna reaction with shield, so it doesn't.
Nice. Awesome. It just pings off of it.
As it's going, my Mizium apparatus just auto kicks in and just surrounds me with a shield. So.
Perfect. And that is your turn, L10.
Excellent.
And don't forget about your pups.
I will not forget about my pups. I'm just casting this shield real quick on my sheet. And the pup rolls my attack, so that'd be +7 to hit. It doesn't matter. I'll just roll this.
Which one is it going after, the Sims or Valentina?
I'm gonna have it go after Valentina, I guess, since she just tried to attack me. Oh,
Gotcha.
butthole. That's a 19 to hit on that one. Yeah, he says Bison at it. For some reason, Elton speaks German right now. For his attack to make it bite, and I think it does 3d8. So I have so many tabs of spells
Dang.
open.
Strong
right?
dog.
Or wait, no, on hit it deals 4d8 piercing damage.
Ooh.
My bad. So,
That's a real strong dog.
Nice.
it's a very good spell. It just can't move
With my
at
attacks,
all.
there should be +6 more damage because I get +2 damage to each hit with when I'm raging. So
+6 more?
yeah, because it's 2 for
Perfect.
each of those 3 hits. So
Good boy, good doggy. He does 20 damage.
I thought you meant that to Bob at first, and I was like, gross.
yeah, no.
28?
But just 20 damage.
Oh, 20.
20. Yes, bite damage from the dog.
Dang.
Good boy.
Strong job.
That's why it's a 4th level spell. That's why I was
Nice.
saving it. All right, and then for my next turn, in honor of my friend Jim, who was, hurt by these things, I'm gonna cast Jim's Magic Missile.
A special version Jim taught me.
This is so it's like Magic Missile, except I like the flavor for this one. It says any apprentice wizard can cast a boring old magic missile. Sure, it always strikes its target. Yawn. Do away with the drudgery of your grandfather's magic with the improved version of this spell. Using Jim's Magic Missile, you create 3 twisting blasts, but I have to roll to hit. They do 2d4, but I have to actually roll to hit.
Ah.
Yes, and I'm going to do it at 2nd level so that I create 4 of these bolts. I think I have to roll for each one, so we'll just do that real quick. First,
Who are you going after?
These ones, I'm going to go after I'll shoot 2 at each. First 2 I'm going to shoot at the thing, and the other 2 I'll shoot at the first 2 at the apparition in front of me, next 2 at the machine. There we go.
Perfect.
First one is 13 to hit. I'm guessing it doesn't hit.
That actually does hit the apparition.
Oh, all right. Then she's going to take 5 force damage from that one. And the next one at the apparition is 17 to hit.
Hit.
So that is 5 more force damage.
Perfect.
And then these 2 at the Sims. Oh. That one's not going to hit. That's a nat 1. That's an 8.
Yeah, that does not hit. We are going to come back to that nat 1, but let's finish up this this last.
The next one is a 10 to hit.
That does not hit.
All right, well.
Let's revisit that nat 1, shall we?
Yeah, I like the sound of that.
Oh, wait. Jim, you're restrained, aren't you? And you're the only one directly next to the Sims.
It is called Jim's Magic Missile.
So go ahead and roll image, L10.
Okay.
Come back home to me.
Sorry, I got a 6 on that one.
Yeah, so you take the 6 damage from that magic missile as it pings you as you are laying there restrained on the ground.
Sorry, I still have some glitter in my eye. It's hard to aim.
At 2 L10.
Is that his full name?
I think we can just end the episode on that note, right?
Yeah,
that line is
absolutely.
perfect.
Jim dies.
I'm feeling like my dragonness isn't coming up a whole lot right now, so I think we're gonna go back bonus action into Chad form again, into Archer form with my last wild shape since they refilled on our short rest. Mostly because that gives me 1 more attack I can do right now. Turn when I activate it, I can fire off its little archer radiant damage, which I will aim at the Sims, this time for a 16 to hit.
Hit.
Hey, I like that. And 11 damage to the Sims with that.
Very nice.
Radiant damage specifically.
Ooh. Very nice.
That will end my turn.
Zeniya, you are up.
Okay. I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
I have the haste spell, which says, as part of it at least, it gives you an additional action.
Mm-hmm.
Haste costs an action cast. Do I still get one additional action after I cast haste?
Sure.
Or do I have to wait till my next turn
You'd
to
get
get
it.
2
Yeah.
actions?
I would say you get it, yeah.
I'd say you get it, but you can only attack once with that action, not
Right.
2 more.
Right. For the first time, because I cast used one action to cast haste.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
I
I say
cast
go for it.
haste.
always good.
And then I use my second action to attack the Sims.
Okay. So do you want to stand, basically there's a space between Bob and Jim, who's on the ground. Do you want to stand in between them?
Yeah, I mean, I need to be within melee, so whatever gets me within melee.
Sounds great, yeah. Okay.
Watch
you are
out!
snuggled up
Watch
in there.
out for Fido, please.
Don't worry, I've marked that spot.
That's just L10 letting her know, you know.
The dog that she can't see.
Exactly, yes. I have to tell her not
Yeah.
to step on him.
Don't step on the tail.
Okay, well, wait. I'm thinking of what I want to do with my action. Who's within melee of me, allies-wise?
Jim and Bob. And the dog. That you can't
Okay.
see.
No. Okay. Never mind. Yeah. Okay. I will attack with my second haste action. So I will roll for that. 19 to hit.
Hit.
Okay. I rolled a 1, so that's 5 slashing damage.
All right. We are back up at the top with Jim. Jim, so you are restrained on the ground until the end of your turn. Is there anything you'd like to do while down there?
I mean, what can I do? Anything?
So you can still do attacks. They're just with a disadvantage, and creatures who are attacking you have advantage.
Okay. So if I don't have... So does it matter if it's a spell or an attack? It's disadvantaged either way.
If the spell has like a roll that you do with it, that would have disadvantage.
Okay.
Save, it's not affected.
Then yeah, I'll just do attack it with my crossbow from down here on the ground.
Just laying there.
Yep, just good. All right, that's an 18.
That
and
does
that's
hit.
well, but that's the second
Oh,
one
right.
because of this darn disadvantage. Think of
Who did
something
that?
very unique because I rolled a nat 1.
What is up with all these nat ones?
This is awful.
I don't think I have to be super unique considering you're right next to Zeniya trying to fire a crossbow while on the ground restrained.
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead and roll me that damage for me, please. And I won't make you do a sneak attack because I am kind and benevolent,
Glad
even though
you're
you
shooting
should
Zeniya,
technically.
not Bob.
I can cast shield. Bring it.
Your shield will not affect in this particular, though.
Alright.
Not with my
that's
nat 1 rule.
That's a 5.
Okay, you take 5 damage, Zeniya, as he basically shoots you directly in the foot. And you don't even have time to cast shield because you're like not expecting a crossbow bolt to just impale your foot.
Ow!
Sorry, Zeniya. That's.
hell?
I seem to be having trouble today.
Attack this thing! He's holding onto one of those flapping arms.
See who went. I think it is Kyle's turn. Roll me a d6, please.
Oh yeah, d6. I rolled look at that, a 5.
Yeah?
Yeah, 5.
Totally
Is that
fine.
so? All right, 1, 2.
Every single one of us rolled a 2 on the first roll.
I know. Scott rolled a 2 on that earlier one that he said 3 or whatever. So that was...
Yeah, we'll go with it. We'll just, I mean, you guys don't know what they are. It's fine. Everyone give me, let's see, it would be Jim, Zeniya, and Bob would be the ones within the area for this. Give me a wisdom saving throw, please.
With a D4 added.
Natural 20.
That does pass.
Me too.
What? Really? Wow. 2 nat 20s. Jim, what'd you get?
That's an 8.
Okay. You feel a warmth seep from your ears, and the room spins around you. You forget your goals and the reason you are in this room. So on your next turn, remind me, and we're gonna do a roll of how you actually spend your turn.
Oh boy.
All right.
No.
But you're not restrained anymore, so that's cool.
Woo.
For now, you're not restrained.
It's very true.
For now.
Bob, it is your turn.
Bob, he's holding on to one of these flapping tube arm things, and you see his plasmoid form like circle around it a bunch and squeeze. And as his unarmed fighter grappling style, I can do an extra D4 of bludgeoning damage to a creature that's grappled by me every turn. So it takes 1 point of grappling damage, bludgeoning damage from that.
Just from that. Excellent.
Boom.
Nice.
1 point.
It's done. That's all it took. Wow. Good job, Kyle.
Yeah?
And I would like to swing a pseudopod at it, and it whips out his arm, and it turns into this like wrench form when he hits on this giant thing. And he's gonna swing, and that's a 17 to hit.
Hit.
Can I do is there anything that would happen if I tried to do a disarming attack on this thing?
Not, well.
It's a maneuver I can do with my Battlemaster. And
You know what? I'm gonna say yes, that you can rip a tentacle off.
oh, cool. Great. So when I hit with the weapon attack, I can expend a superiority die to add it to the damage and to disarm the target if it fails a strength saving throw. So I'm just gonna add some points to this damage.
Do I just roll a strength saving throw, or is it contested?
It's a strength saving throw of 15.
Okay.
And so that is 11 plus 2, which is 13, plus superiority die, which is another D8. 6. So that is 19 points of bludgeoning damage. And if it failed that saving throw.
It did not. It got a 17.
Actually,
I cast silvery barbs at it to distract it to make it have to roll again. I start asking the Sims like a million questions to distract it while he's attacking it. Like,
what's it like to be a gigantic AI? Did this thing come out of you? Is this a cognitive piece of you, or is it its own entity that's infecting you?
Like, I'm just asking it rapid fire things to try to make it roll lower. So now it has to re-roll the D20 and use the lower roll. It just gives it disadvantage.
Well, the second one was a 15. What was your save?
A 15. Dang it.
Damn it, Kyle.
Come on.
You don't rip a tentacle off. That sucks. That would have been... Okay, next time.
So bad.
You can still give someone advantage,
Did you
right?
just say
And I can pick somebody
next
to get
time?
advantage on their neck. That's right. I can then choose a different creature. I can see within range and give that person advantage on the next attack roll, ability check, or saving throw it makes within 1 minute. I'm guessing that Bob the Blob is going to attack again, so why not
If
take
you
advantage?
don't use it on me, I'm going to use it on
a reckless attack? Yeah, that's
Too,
honestly what I should.
So
I'm going to give it to Zeniya instead. You don't get it. You can get your own advantage.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't want to give it to Tyler because he's going to be fucking evil next turn.
And I'm going to try and hammer on this tentacle arm again. That's an 18 to hit.
Hit.
Okay, another superiority die, same thing.
Okay.
And so the base damage is 12 plus 8. 20 points of bludgeoning damage with the second wrench hit, and you have to do a strength of 15.
Well, I did pass the strength test, but you literally got the exact HP that it had left. That's why my shocked face came out, is because it was just perfectly spot on. It had 20 HP left.
Thank God you did that 1 damage at the start of the round.
Literally, like, yeah, it would have been us.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was the 1 damage. hit! My grappling damage came through! When I swing at this thing, you guys don't see this, but this is happening in Bob's mind. He hits it with the wrench, and there's this flash of him kind of going away from a convoy of ships that are exploded and surrounded by Ravager ships, and his main ship that he was on explodes. It's like a memory flashing, and then he hits again, and then that memory flashes, and he just thinks to himself, I'm not leaving the ship again, as he slams his final thing into his final wrench slap into this thing to break it.
With that, you see with the last slam, the apparition turns and sees what's happening and makes eye contact for a brief moment with Zeniya before disintegrating into a puddle of red and then disappearing. The inside of the Sim's arcane orb swirls like a crimson cyclone. The turbulent smoke rapidly collapses in on itself, tighter and tighter, leaving a milky white, shimmering liquid calmly floating inside. The solar dragon chased away, the orb calm, and the cables and hosing still. The room feels almost jarringly silent compared to moments before when Bob hammered on it with his wrench. You are catching your breath when you hear a soft beeping coming from the screen next to the Sims that L10 is standing next to.
Oh, no.
A message is flashing across the screen. Potential lab safety violation. Press to view recording. And the message is dated approximately 100 years ago.
Touch.
Yeah, isn't that when stuff happened? Isn't that when like the water damage happened to the general area, or no? Am I
The water damage is a separate. That was about like 30 or 40 years ago. Is when she mentioned that was like the last time like something glitched. About 100 years ago it's when your mom died.
Interesting. That's weird.
It's when The Sims was created.
Okay.
So an image comes up on the screen. You immediately recognize the room that appears on the screen as the lab you are standing in now. The view is from above, as if recorded from a device tucked in a corner by the ceiling. While the present-day lab is mostly empty except for the Sims, the lab on the screen is full of tables covered in equipment, and desks stacked with notebooks. A younger Ada Hopper stands next to the orb, jotting notes onto a pad of paper. You see her look up as a tall Gith woman walks into the room. They begin to talk, and after a little while you can tell that they have begun to argue, despite there being no sound on the recording. The Gith woman's back is to you, but you see Ada's gestures become more animated. Suddenly, Ada pushes the other woman back into the arcane orb. A huge explosion pushes through the lab, and then the recording goes to static.
That's not what happened. That doesn't make any sense. She died like out on a mission. That doesn't make
I don't think that the camera recording is lying to us.
Okay, well if that's what happened, then my mom has lied to me for my whole life.
I'm sure she had her reasons. All parents want to do what's best for their kids.
Can I do any kind of check to like reconcile what I'm seeing with what I have in my mind?
Sanity
as far
check?
as like what I've been told.
Roll for rationality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you like to pet my invisible dog?
Make you feel better.
I think I don't think so. I think that would just be more things for me to have to think about, and I don't think I want to do that right now. Yeah. Zeniya, like, not out of like any negative emotion, but like she just needs space at this moment. She just like backs up a little bit and is like processing what she just saw and trying to reconcile it with what she's been told, and like going through her mind of like, she survived that, and then what actually happened was what I've been told. That's the thing that makes the most sense, unless there's some kind of like that's in denial. Like that's that didn't happen, like that happened, but she survived, and then the story I know is what happened. That's the only thing that can make this make sense.
Let's do a wisdom saving throw, just to see. Actually, let's do it this way.
Okay.
I want you to roll a contested wisdom and intelligence saving throws against yourself. See what wins, the emotions or the logic.
Could I? Never mind. I probably can't cast calm emotions for this scenario because that's more for like calming down hostile creatures, I think.
I mean, I think you can see that, like, Zeniya is pretty worked up about this. Like, this is not like some,
I'm
like,
basically throwing out to Becca that she has to determine what this would do because it doesn't mechanically fit the situation.
This is a big deal. So however Becca wants to rule that, obviously go for it. But, like, this is a big deal. She's very upset and, like, actively working through what's happening.
I would say if you cast that spell, your intelligence can have a roll with advantage for the saving throw on the intelligence side.
All right, I'll do
I
it.
will roll for advantage intelligence right now.
It will all be okay.
Ooh. That's a 27.
Nice.
So let's roll for wisdom. Wisdom's a dirty 20.
Okay.
Close.
So yeah,
I'm good at both of those.
Considering what those are, they're not that far off. You are understandably spiraling. You have heard the story of your mother almost every night throughout your entire childhood. Ada has told you the story of your mother, Valentina, almost every night of your childhood. Everyone on the ship knows the story of your mother, Valentina, because the fight that she died in, well, that was like right around the time The Sims was created. And like, this is part of the lore of the Inquirer. You find yourself struggling to get your brain to focus, but something that like stands out to you is that like, it's your mom. Not every single thing that you have experienced, every of those moments with her could actually be a lie. There's no way. You know that the recording is a recording. What you saw happened. But you also know that that recording was just a clip. And you think that you were trying to remind yourself and kind of drill it into your own mind that you all need to go talk to Ada. And that's the only way that you can figure out what's happening. Is like when shit hits the fan, you always go talk to your mom. And in this particular instance, you know without a doubt, you just need to go talk to her.
Yeah. I can't jump to any negative conclusions without talking to her first because this isn't the whole story. And I can't imagine that she fed me a complete lie my entire life. Like, that doesn't reconcile with the woman that I know. But like, she is dealing with like significant cognitive dissonance until we talk to her. Like, until we talk to her, it's just like a spiral loop of like, what I'm seeing, what I know, what I'm seeing, what I know, like just going back and forth and trying to come up with something that makes them both make sense.
Yes, I suggest we should all go and speak with your mother. Acquiring additional information is valuable in situations like this. I need to update my archives as well.
Okay. Yeah. Everything seems to be like calm. Like when we look around, like everything seems to be okay.
So do you all head out?
Let's go talk to my mom.
So with that intelligence check, you guys all can kind of intuit that there are two places where Ada would be, really. She'd either be in the engineer's office or she would be probably at your all's apartment. But given the fact of what just happened, you know that there's no way that your mother is just like sitting at home. And so you all head together to the engineer's magitech office. You go into the office and you see Ada immediately. She is back at one of the windows. That's an exterior window out into the astral sea. And she is attempting to duct tape a big piece of clear plastic sheeting over what used to be the window. But the glass has probably blew out or in during the encounter. At the sound of the door opening, she turns around and she immediately rushes to all of you and embraces each of you in turn. And you can tell that she is comforting herself by physically touching you on the shoulders and the side of the face, just making sure that you are whole and you are there. And in this, as she's up close to you, you see that her face and her arms, basically the exposed skin, are covered in lacerations. Most of them look pretty like surface level and have clotted, but there is a pretty sizable one across her forehead that has been butterfly bandaged shut. And she's like, "Oh, thank God you're okay." When are you all right? What happened?
We're fine. What happened to you? You look worse than we do. What's happening?
I was at the station and the window, it shattered in and glass went everywhere. I was lucky I was the only one here.
I can fix it. I can fix it.
He's too excited to keep himself first.
Okay.
Elton wants to real quick cast Prayer of Healing, though, as his last second level spell, so that everybody in the group gets 2d8 healing plus my ability modifier, which is +4. So, real quick.
Yeah, I know Zeniya's mom looks pretty bad, but I'm over here with 4 HP.
That's why I'm casting
Prayer of Healing.
You can't really tell it's my blob form, but I'm actually pretty hurt. You can't
Honestly,
really tell,
I can't tell what is lumping up and what is your natural shape, Bob.
Yeah.
I don't know. 12
globs
healing.
falling off?
12 healing. For
I should
everybody.
make my form maybe look hurt, and I turn into like zombie Bob, like a barely. Is this better?
All right.
No.
Yeah, no.
I pull out my sword.
12 healing.
Okay.
And then I'll walk away from this group to try to cast Mending on the window, so you can have a real conversation.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Jim is also going to be like, that screw needs tightened.
Yeah, please help, Jim. This window is very broken.
Step away from this.
I whistle for my broom of flying, and it goes into my hand. I just start sweeping the ground, kind of listening.
Oh, yeah.
I take a second to make sure Bob is not actually a zombie.
No, I revert my form back, and as I'm like walking around, I make my ear like a little bit bigger.
I was going to say the same thing. There's like a little satellite that pops up.
The ear shape it looks bigger as I'm sweeping.
Okay, I go up to my woman to give her a huge hug because I was really worried when I saw her all messed up. So I just like give her a big hug. And it's one of those hugs where like you're avoiding saying something, so like you hug for way too long.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're just avoiding the verbal conversation that's gonna happen.
She, after a couple seconds, mom intuition kicks in.
Yeah.
And her hand comes up and starts combing her, and she's like, What's wrong, sweetheart? Something's obviously... Are you all right? Are you hurt? Do you need more? We have healing potions.
No, I'm honestly
right?
fine. I'm perfect. I barely took any damage while we were gone. I'm fine. Mom, what happened? What happened with my mom? What actually happened? We saw there was like a recording there. We saw something. I need you to tell me the whole truth, because otherwise I need you to tell me the whole thing. I don't know what happened. I need you to tell me the whole thing, because what I saw doesn't make sense.
There's a recording?
Yeah. Dated 100 years ago.
It's not as bad as it...
Okay, but you have to tell me, because my brain keeps going in circles, and I don't know what's happening. What did you tell me? What's true from what you told me? Because what I saw doesn't make any sense.
Everything I told you before was true, except what happened that day.
Okay, well, you have to tell me, because I'm freaking out. I don't know what's happening.
I know. All right, I will. I know. I should have done it a long time ago. And they're making me really anxious with their random movements. Guys, just come sit.
They're giving us space. It's fine. I don't care if they hear.
It's a
but you have
space.
to tell me.
The somatic components are important to casting the mending spell. I have to make the movements.
You have to tell me. I'm on the verge of a complete freak out. You have to tell me right now.
So she guides you over. There is a circular table in this room that is used for, smaller meetings with the engineers, and also they will often eat their lunches and their meals there, just taking breaks away from their stations. And she guides you and she sits you into a chair. And then she looks at all four of you. Everything I told you was true, except for what happened that day, the day you saw on the screen.
Okay, well, how much is missing? Because I based my entire personality and my entire life on what you told me. So, like, if
your mother was an amazing woman, Zeniya.
And I know that, and I based my entire life off of trying to be like her and trying to be like you and trying to be like both of you. And if I, okay, you just have to tell me. You have to tell me.
All right. Happening. I will, sweetheart. I loved her, and she loved you very much, and we were happy for a while. But everyone is different, and I think Valentina started to get stir crazy, restless. She was an adventurer at heart, and she started picking fights about everything. Small things at first, like the way I made the bed, or that I dressed you in the blue pajamas instead of the yellow pajamas. But soon we were fighting about everything. That day, Valentina came into my lab, and I just remember my whole body tensed up, waiting for another fight. But she surprised me. She told me she decided it was time for her to leave. And honestly, I felt relief. We could just be friends. There'd be no more fighting, it'd be better for all of us. Then she told me she was taking you with her. And I honestly don't know why that possibility never crossed my mind, but it hadn't. I started to panic, and I told her that she couldn't just take you, I'm your mother. And we started to argue, and then she just snapped. And she said, of course she would take you with her. She was your real mother. And I was just a glorified babysitter. I may have not carried you, but I was at every healer's appointment. And I may have not given birth to you, but I held you first. I know that strawberries give you a little rash on your butt, and I know that when you wake up from a nightmare in the middle of the night, sometimes all you need is a thick pair of fuzzy socks to go back to sleep. I have loved you since the moment I knew you existed, and I told her that I am not just a babysitter. I'm your mom. And I got so mad that I pushed her, and I shouldn't have done it. You should never put your hands on another person without their consent. But I pushed her, and she fell back into the orb. And I swear I don't understand what happened next. I have touched that orb thousands of times and nothing has happened. My lab techs have touched it thousands of times and nothing has happened. The last thing I saw was her face go from like this look of shock to pure hatred, and then there was a huge explosion. It knocked me off my feet and it destroyed most of the lab, and when I finally was able to stand back up, your mother was gone. I was looking around still in shock, trying to process what had happened, where your mother was, when an alert came through. A vessel was calling for help because they were under attack by a tyrant ship. And your mother's whale pod was shipping out to help. And then it hit me. I realized how this would all look. Everyone had seen us fighting for weeks, and now Valentina was just missing, and I wouldn't even be able to explain why or what happened. Nobody was gonna believe that. They'd assume I did something horrible, and they'd take me away from you, and I just couldn't let you lose both mothers in one day. I needed time to figure it out. I had time to find where your mother was, and I needed time to fix things. So I went to your mother's ship, and I activated the autopilot feature, so it would follow the rest of the pod out on the mission. It just needed a little bit of time, but they didn't come back. And a few days later, we came across the wreckage of the fight, and there were no survivors. I swear to you, I worked for years trying to figure out what happened to your mother. I had theories, but I could never really find any actual evidence to support them. And over time, it just kind of became easier to let everyone continue to believe the lie. But I should have told you the truth a long time ago. I wish I had been strong enough to do that.
I can't believe I have to ask you this question right now. Did you do anything to the other people out there so that they wouldn't come back? Did you do anything to make sure that they wouldn't come back so they couldn't say anything against your story?
Absolutely not, no. I swear that is all that happened. I don't expect you, and she looks at all of you when she says it, I don't expect you all to be able to process this and know what to do in this moment. That's not fair of me to expect anything like that. But just know that when you have time and you're ready, I'll whatever you decide, I will do. I should have done it a long time ago.
Can I do some kind of check to try and fill in the gaps of what my mom couldn't figure out? Like, what was that, like, thing we saw? Like, what does that mean as far as, like, what she has told me? Like, I want to try and connect the dots as much as possible.
Yeah, there's a couple ways because of the complexity of, or because of the builds with the Sims being kind of modeled after the Autognome creation stories. You can use Arcana if you'd like, or Investigation. And I will say with L10 in the room, you can roll with advantage.
That's me.
I'm gonna roll Investigation.
Would you be willing to repeat all of this in 6 to 8 hours under a zone of truth?
Okay, well, I rolled a 27.
Nice.
Okay.
Yes. So you guys can all kind of piece together based off of what she just told you and what you saw and what also you know about autognomes. So autognomes are an interesting kind of enigma, just kind of like Warforged also too. But with autognomes, the idea is that they're a construct, but what separates them is that there's some sort of extra oomph that's been given to them. And that can come from a bunch of different ways. Like arcane casters can choose to like give them additional power, or some sort of a big event or strong emotion can cause this transition. You all with the apparition, you sensed hatred. Ada described that intense emotion, that overwhelming hatred that she saw flash across. And so you kind of think through, that could have been just the perfect storm. If every other instance when people were working with this arcane orb, they were just at work. The odds of them having such a strong, intense emotion that could trigger this conversion, that's pretty slim to none, at least at the place I work at. So if you think through, it was most likely that she had such a visceral reaction to the argument and to Ada in that moment that the arcane orb just kind of took over, and that's how The Sims was created. It was fed off of that intense emotion.
But needed that emotional input to kind of kick it to the next level.
Yep. So you all sit and talk for a while, and then it kind of lapses into long periods of quiet as each of you works to process what happened throughout the day, and what also happened in the story Ada told you. Ada eventually gets up and goes to the fridge and gets a big bowl of spaghetti that she had brought in before and warms it up, and she serves you a kind of edible meal of spaghetti and healing potions, and reports to you that no casualties actually were reported throughout the attacks, and all injuries were relatively minor considering what could have happened if you all hadn't acted so quickly. When the adrenaline fades, exhaustion settles into your bodies. You all are kind of helping clear the table before most likely heading home, when the communication screen mounted on the wall right next to the door beeps an alert tone. Ada walks over and activates it to display the message. She reads it to herself, her body unintentionally blocking it from your view. She shakes her head and calls over her shoulder, looks like we need to activate true seeing at all the entrances for a while. Just got an alert about a wanted person spotted in the area that can shapeshift. She moves away from the screen to bring an empty bowl to the sink, and you all can now see the warning message and picture of the person accused of a multitude of heinous crimes. Everyone give me an insight check. Let's go with Zeniya, you report yours first.
Well, I have a +0, so that's a 3.
Okay. Jim?
17.
Okay. Bob?
8.
Nice. L10.
16.
Perfect. Jim, give me a deception check.
It's a 7.
All right. Zeniya, you are very understandably distracted. You do not see this at all, as your mind is lost in thought. But Bob and L10 actually do notice a slight change in Jim. Jim, you are trained in deception. Oddly enough, your pupils dilate like a predator viewing prey. All this time waiting, pretending to be just a normal mechanic, has paid off. On the screen, you see the name and face of the person you've been sent to find. Your real mission can now truly begin. Your mark has finally surfaced. But Jim is not the only one who recognizes the person on the screen. Bob, give me a deception check.
6.
What the hell?
What the heck is happening?
Job on this deception, Bob.
L10 and Jim. Bob's not trained in the art of deception. He actually is just a janitor. But Bob, they still notice as your body goes deathly still, and a buzzing sound fills your cochlear nerve clusters. You too recognize the person on the screen. You've only seen them once before, but you will never forget the last time you saw them. The night they killed your family. And that is where our story ends.
Whoa!
Wait, I had an important question. What millimeter of thickness of socks cures fear?
Oh my gosh.
If it's fuzzy, 3 millimeter.
Okay, good. Thank you.
The camera shoots out into space and flies the planet of Toril and shoots down into Daggerford into the Talltale Tavern as our teenage girl.
Not so
actually
teenage.
teenage. Not so teenage. Our woman finishes her vodka cranberry and finishes the story as this tavern is silent and waiting for the next step, but she does not continue her story. And then all is quiet in the tavern for a moment, and the rustling of pages is heard from every bookshelf lining the walls. You can hear some disappointed sighs as the story is over. Soon papers they start swirling rapidly through the air, between chairs and under tables, coalescing in the center in a leather-bound book floating in the air, and the air is quiet once again as golden letters engrave themselves on the cover, and the title, The Mothership, is clearly seen. The book gracefully makes its way to one of the bookshelves lining the wall and finds its place among the stories. The bartender gives a curious look towards the book and steps towards it and looks at the book, and as it slid in, there was a faint line of slime that seemed to trail along the book as it was pushed into the bookshelf. And he takes out his towel from his apron and quickly wipes it up, shrugs his shoulders, and steps away. And thus concludes our 12th adventure in the Talltale Tavern.
Woo!
Woo!
It makes a lot of sense that they wouldn't have told that lady the rest of the story. I don't know why they told her about the mom stuff, honestly. It's crazy that the storyteller had that information about the spaghetti that we were...
Well, thank you to all the players this week, Scott, Brooke, Tyler, and our amazing DM, Becca. Their socials can be found in the description. If you want to see the video of the episode, it'll be up on our YouTube. Follow us at Talltale Tavern Podcast on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. If you like us, give us one of those good 5-star reviews. Join our Discord, too. Thank you to Tyler Adelsperger for our music. Thank you to Zaezar for our artwork. And with that, we will see you next time at the Talltale Tavern.